Asal ini menahan, mendelay biar plan spike-nya ini juga di cancel, tapi ternyata di triple box Susi Boy hampir aja tertulik oleh Xiao dan bahkan ada lagi. Oh no, itu boy shell dan bahkan ada pen shell dari Zipan kali ini dan sementara Zipan menjadi last man standing dan membawa FPX berhasil untuk mengamankan round mereka yang kelima.
Apa itu Le? Gue lihat kayak thread-nya cacet. Hilang semuanya.
Hilang.
Ya emang counternya tim XERXIA ini ya harus begini. Mereka harus gunfight. Dari FPX mau nggak mau mereka jangan membiarkan tim XERXIA ini untuk melakukan planting. Sebisa mungkin ya udah fight back aja. Adu aim.
I heard they were like bringing those as drone deliveries, but this is like blast pack delivery of the spike.
You guys want a spike? The little backflip he did over the box, that was pretty cool. This time wall goes up and they're going to cross all the way through. Good snake bite down by Cider though. Delay strategy. Oh no.
Right, so Cider just died to the dome. No, this whole round has just gone completely wrong. Okay, well these last two have been a little bit weird, but nonetheless, it's looking very clean. XERXIA finding some easy space in towards this A side. I think the sheer pace in which they're throwing it in is something that FPX really can't deal with at the moment, but yeah, I don't really know how he died to that nade. It definitely looked a little bit sketchy, but then the rest of the team just get owned. Like, the problem is you then have the showstopper.
Halo guys, pertama kali watch, bukan pertama kali juga sih, tapi ya watch party guys, watch party masters. Klik link.
Look at that timeline. We had the pistol go the way of the attacking side. We saw another round, just one out, but we're really at the neck and neck portion. FPX gonna dive right in with a big investment. Now Xiao is the one with the operator. He's going to be playing this towards A, right up there on mid, looking to take the fight. We just saw the orb land on top of him, so a little bit awkward. He has to play around on the A side of it.
Stinger.
Yes, he is.
But no shotgun?
So I don't know if he was involved in the dropping of that op, although I don't think so. Xiao is on light shield, so I imagine he bought that himself. That's not the best of weapons to play with, and you normally see the judge
nonton jokes. Aku pengen nonton yang Inggris.
Maybe he's got that old right-click strategy down. I think that's something we know.
Pipis guys, bentar ya.
I love you, Lothar, but no one ever used that bite.
Hey, I saw some clips. Clips. All of them were from his stream, but I did see some clips, and that's all I'm saying. The facts are the facts. 50 seconds left as XERXIA look to move to this site. They've still got Orbital Strike, still got Seekers, and a Viper's Pit. A ton of utility to work with. And FPX, though, like, it's this operator for Xiao. He's been so patient with it, holding up close. They've got mid covered, but once this utility goes up, he's going to be under so much pressure.
The first one's for free, using the ugliest operator
in
the game. He's actually just going to go pushing all the way through. Little bit of madness. I guess they are playing this a bit more free than normal. Zipan still manages to get one. The rotation's not coming through. The smokes have held them back at least a little bit long. Okay, it didn't. Some of these risks that are being taken by FPX, I am not a fan of.
Well, we've heard that the FPX scrims have been going well, and I'll tell you what, these guys are definitely coming in looking confident, because those plays, to me, that is overconfidence. XERXIA punishing them every turn of the way, and that's what you need to see, right? This team is not going to allow FPX to come in and disrespect them. Artists into the 1 versus 2. A chance, but a Viper's Pit to fight through. A Molly post-plant. Sorry, Orbital Strike post-plant coming out of Cruz. Cruz, I think that pretty much closes the round. Artist is out. Well, if he can get out, knife in hand.
Oh, this is awkward. It's actually going to be Artist to get the kill, and he's managed to retrieve the operator at that, so something to take through. Scary's going to get away as well. But yeah, I definitely a bit of a peculiar one for FPX. Like, Xiao, like, he even had Nightfall there. So if he wanted to hold them back, he could have used his ultimate to try and slow them down. It just runs in with an operator. And then the more peculiar one for me is this move from Angel. Like, that's so risky. That was a 3v3 as well.
Yeah, this is exactly as I say. I can't think of it any other way. Just sheer confidence coming out of the FPX side that individually they'll be able to destroy this XERXIA team. I don't know what they've seen.
Nomor satu match atau sampai beres sih satu match aja sih.
It ain't adding up. XERXIA are looking pretty strong. They're able to take these duels. They're able to punish Every little mistake that's been coming on through. And we're
Nggak tahu
left into
gue
this round. Sure, Artis saved this operator, so they've got that, but everybody else is playing with pistols. Still, with the fact that they've got so many ultis online, it is a round that XERXIA need to be very cautious of, and that is just the perfect start. Up, down, and out of the round. Unrecoverable, too.
Yeah, definitely not the weapon you wanted to lose this early. Oh, nice shot from Xiao. Maybe wanting a little bit of vengeance after the last round. Angel's still trying to lurk around the edge of the smoke, but he's been spammed through it instead. Space taken, Zipan. He's actually going to go in with the showstopper, but he's caught before he can even fire it off.
No,
Ultimate
he's
used,
caught.
ultimate wasted, and while Xiao maybe hidden within this smoke with a rotation fairly far away, trying to cap someone as they exit, but now into the afterplant once again. XERXIA in a solid spot.
In a
That's some
solid
info to play with,
spot.
but not able to follow up. Cider, a pit, but with only this pistol, it's doubtful that he's going to try to use that. I would be incredibly surprised.
Ih,
He flanked out as well, so there's the round closed. Nicely handled by Scary in through the elbow. 5-3 we go. And this attacking side steaming into the lead. Remember, we saw them win the pistol. Then FPX came through with that confidence. It was
Hai,
working, but
Torsena.
now I think they're starting to realize
nggak
they
sabar
need to go to a different game.
Kamis.
Yeah,
Rabu
think,
ya?
I said
Kau
at the
tahu?
beginning of the game, I do expect FPX to have a solid attack. They always do, and I think especially having a strong in-game leader like Angel calling basically whatever you're going to be doing in the round, I think they should be absolutely fine to sort of turn it. But if it continues in this sort of manner, I almost feel like they're not showing XERXIA the respect they deserve. Because as I said,
Let's go FX yang bukan FPS, anjay.
way too overly aggressive and not really much reasoning behind it. It was just, as you said, maybe overconfidence. Or just Angel thinking that he had a timing on something. But he was definitely wrong.
Yeah, they had obviously had success in
Sophistication,
stopping a plant in that
boss.
position before, but slightly different circumstances with the nade blast pack up and all that followed. I do think it's okay to start a game out like that, especially for the context of FPX starting out their LAN event. They're coming in here with a stand-in as well. You come through swinging, and all
besok
those shots
mana ya,
connect,
benar.
fantastic.
Aku
That is
Rabu.
going to propel you into the tournament. But now they're facing the downside, right? The other aspect, the other result.
Well,
where-
the other thing as well is, like, especially on this A site, XERXIA's executions have been pretty good. They've been able to isolate Cider fairly easily. I don't think they've had too much trouble, be it with just the showers control that they've been taking, or just their fast pushes straight down mid. I don't think there's been a lot to deny them just yet. I feel like there could definitely be some utility used by FPX to try and slow them down just a little bit more. But also, once they're into the afterplants, there hasn't really been looking like much of a retake setup at all from FPX. So once the plant goes down, I think it's been good for XERXIA.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, like we said, those punishments that have come through have been on point.
Kapan ya?
Starting this one out,
Ngomong, aku nggak
rifles all
inget.
around for FPX, zip and up top.
Ah, kurang enak pakai ini.
See
Ganggu.
Angels here to kind of draw most of their eyes. So they think that this is the main player holding up on middle, but in fact, Zipban was waiting. He's been caught though. A disaster of a start. A flash through, Artis a little bit early on that. The rest of the team now rallying up, and he's got through. He got that shot off somehow, but that's all that they've managed so far.
Gila, serem juga coy XERXIA.
It's not taking him down.
Gila, serem banget XERXIA, anjir.
Yeah, it leaves again a 2 versus 4 scenario. Cider and Xiao might even just want to think about trying to save here, because getting back in from defender spawn is going to be difficult. Now, Zipan's played that spot a couple of times, so I'm not surprised to see them actually check it early on. He's tried to use that elevated angle to get a pick. Again, clearly just trying to win out those Angels. Not working out so far, and then it did just look like it crumbled. Like, the pinch coming through from Showers, it was actually a switch up in the way that they've been taking so far, because XERXIA, for the majority of rounds, they've been sending 1 player or 2 players through the Showers, and then everybody else through mid. So I think Artis got a little bit of a nasty surprise. Like, okay, I'm going to reclaim this ground, and wow. He met the full force of the opposition. Good read from XERXIA, if anything.
That's what this whole game has been so far. Again, just the ability to come through with those punishes time after time. You're seeing the comfort level on this map. With 6 rounds in the attack already, they are certainly building them up. Like you said, second half, we expect FBX to come back into it and to put on a good performance. But with the context of how it's gone so far, it just that 3-round streak and then looking relatively flat since then. The ideas that they have, the opportunities they're going for, really not finding
Oh,
any
harus
sort of
pakai judul
success.
gini ya?
And even some of these pinks, like that Zipan holding the angle early, and Fox is able to swing through and take that kill nice and easy.
They're also, every battle they've taken in this round is untradeable.
Yes.
Like, there was no one playing towards
okay.
Lamp, so there was no opportunity for someone to swing off of it. If there was, probably would have been a 1-for-1.
I think originally though, right, they had Angel there. He gets Trailblazered out. He falls back, pops a molly, and hopes that's going to be enough. But I guess you also don't expect that sheer pace. That was the Sky who'd used the Trailblazer, right? And she just went running through, which sometimes is what you need to do.
Sambil nyender asik, guys.
Weaponry definitely not ideal, but Cider is one of the players with a rifle, so just going to look to play within it. They now do have that judge currently within hookah, so the weaponry is definitely not ideal, but there's some pieces to work with here. You can see though on the other side, again, they're going for these almost set plays to try and force players back off the angles, trying to
Bisa orang taruh kamera di mana sih?
almost anonymity, just go
Oh,
in
di kiri ya?
with nothing really being found out by FPX, and other than that, they're just trying to hold on to some of these more aggressive angles, so they have the info.
Bentar
You
ya.
can see it from Zipan.
Mau lihat dulu orang-orang biasa taruh di mana camnya. Di kanan.
Not using any utility to clear those corners, but Zipan, he spotted it just in time. That's a spray. Oh, it's so close. But Zipan survives on 45, even gets a nade off as well, and that has deterred XERXIA entirely. They are moving back, conceding control over there. You've got an orb to push through on back.
Coba sih juga di ngomong kasih ya weh.
The thing is that the judge has
Nomor 2030 anjir, udah umur 30 tuh gue.
It would have been so valuable if you just stuck around a little bit longer. I guess the call was made.
Kenapa jam 5 pagi apa 6 pagi gitu, lupa gue.
Basically sit within the middle of the site and try and get something with this judge. If he can get the timing right here, he has an opportunity. First one's free, but it's
nice
just a little bit
trade.
off. He doesn't manage to deny it. Sushi Boys has held the line. That could have been the round slipping away, but still an opportunity here.
A huge catch,
Wah.
another one by XERXIA, but hold on,
Bengong.
Sushi Boys has gone down, and it's all on the surf. He's stuck. He's getting absolutely ruined, and the ult will take him down. The defuse comes through. They could have won that off of time, and they end up winning it with the duels. That was certainly not something I was counting on. And a fourth is found for FPX.
Yeah, no, it's actually quite surprising that with XERXIA.
Mbak, lu kenapa nggak sama Mesut kebanyakan ketawanya, ini bercanda mulu anjir.
The fact that all it really took to deny it was Zipan holding his nade.
Wih, XERXIA tembak
He
langsung.
just held it a little bit longer, waited until they actually went for the take, and then they realized, like, okay, we can't really go through this anymore. Let's try for a late wraparound. And while Artis actually did enough, like that was the main thing. It was like, okay, he takes a kill, allows.
Webel, apa kabar, bos? Semoga anda sehat-sehat. Thank you, Indra. Lo apa kabar, cuy?
Yeah, most definitely. Now, timeout for XERXIA called through. 2 rounds left to play with.
Gila Coko kalau watch party tuh kayak lebih sering baca chat anjir.
Maybe warming up into next. You certainly want to see XERXIA pick up at least that one more. They're going to call this time.
S-nya apa? S-nya serius.
Cruz has been having a pretty decent game. I've been enjoying
Ih, pengen ngemil deh.
Back in the day when we were doing those Ignition series in Southeast Asia, I always assumed the man's name was Crows. I think I called him that for like a year and a half. And then we got to an international event and I was like, oh. Because they give us little sheets with the pronunciations.
It's like
Iya, 5:30 lah.
Foxy as well. Like that was the one that I
Foxy,
always...
yeah, of course.
Kenapa tuh emang? Valorant tuh bikin semangat,
That's the
cuy.
thing. It's like you see like either Fox or Foxes or Foxes.
Obviously, it's scary.
Yeah, it's,
you know.
You've only made that joke at every single event
because
so far.
there used to be a third S there. I'm pretty sure there was 2 small S's and a big one. Back in the good old days.
I don't know about that.
Way back.
Someone please fact check. Maybe we can
Someone
get that
fact check
underneath.
it. Go
Yeah,
on,
we get it here instead.
Scary used to actually have 7 S's in it way back in
7-0 in 1v1 clutches. There you go.
solid.
Not bad from Xiao. He's definitely one of the players that I think him being able to
Oh, hai.
excites me. I wanted to
Insight aja bro. Serem bro.
even for an incredibly long
Tadi siapa
time.
menang?
So
Pepper
the fact that they finally made it
Pepper
here is
girl.
exciting. Definitely more
Iya,
aggressive
Cok.
than I expected
12-13
them to be so far on the
lemes.
defensive side, but hey, if they come out with a
11-13
6-6, I don't think
kali.
I'll be too unhappy with it.
Kok 12-13?
There immediately on the Trailblazer. B-long 2-stack, it's not something you'll see all too often. We heard in the interview earlier the
semangat,
dynamic
cuy.
between Angel and Artis, so hopefully they maintain control here, or Artis is going to get given out too. Cross it back over, they're going to concede it completely, move to the site with hookah presence being shown, but XERXIA, they've been very keen to play these fakes. Quite a lot of these, it feels like the majority of the rounds, they're showing early intentions and then waiting for
XERXIA
FPX to react.
mau ke A. Cruznya harus main telat nih, jangan main cepet.
Again, they're going to go for this push through mid. A little bit of information found.
Wah.
He got one with the snake bite. Attempted to run through, and he's now looking to get a little bit more aggressive himself. Doing
Wah.
everything in this round. He's been very quiet so far, but Saito with the 4K, waking up into the match. and that will be a 5th round for FPX.
Wow. Listen,
Enak
that
banget
is
ada no
some
comment soalnya.
performance out of Cider. Even the
Nggak usah loncat.
decision in that duel when he swings out and takes the player over towards the tall box.
Bisa yo,
and
apak
tucks
yo.
back in, knowing that if there's anyone still on mid, they're gonna face him and they're gonna expect him to be falling
Iya,
back
belum
or
ada, weh.
swinging on their teammate. They're not gonna expect them to stand there tucked in a corner waiting for them to come on through. Surf was in no position to get anything done there. Very well handled, and a 5th now. Look, this half was looking very much favored towards XERXIA off the back of a number of very ambitious plays from FPX. But now it seems like the reins have been gripped again, and FPX could equalize before this
Di
is over.
Indonesia, maksudnya yang lain juga di Indonesia sih. Ada Yanto deh kalau nggak salah, ada Bani,
Get this many rounds on the attack is
Asteris itu juga lagi watch party.
especially with the fact that they're going to have Surf on that chamber going in to the defensive side.
Selamat,
I think it's gonna be a danger
Davin.
for sure, and well, maybe even a danger in the last round of this
Lu ngantuk deh gue.
first half as he's looking to try and find an opener with that Tour de Force. Hasn't had the greatest of performances
Padahal
so
baru
far,
bangun
but
jam
you
3
kind
sore.
of expect that from a chamber on attack.
I mean, you see it, the struggle for Surf, and even this round with the Tour de Force holding an angle. You gotta wait and hope that they peek you. It was Cruz that got peeked. Oh, good flash, but Fox, he is on it, taking the kill quick as you like. And
Wah,
Artis is now down. B long
Foxy.
control open. That's gonna force Angel in towards.
Keserin tipis-tipis dong, Kak.
Reading this as an A
Aduh,
fight.
capek.
Great call
Ntar
by
deh.
FPX. But we've said before, XERXIA are always
Ntar
happy
dulu,
to
masih ngumpul
rotate
nyawa
back.
coy,
They're
ngantuk.
coming towards
Padahal
Angel
baru
now.
bangun.
And it's only one player. He
no.
won't even catch him.
Waduh,
Cruz
nge-whiff
on a tear.
Angel.
Yeah, that looked like a fight that Angel
Nge-whiff,
definitely
Angel
should have
nge-whiff.
won. Now the site is completely given up. Of course, for the side of XERXIA, they're going to have to take the time to clear it, but well, they've done that with relative ease, and you look at what's on the board for the other side. Not a whole lot of utility, a little bit available for Xiao, but getting back in here is going to be incredibly difficult. And as I've already said, when it comes to these afterplants, XERXIA have been devastating. All too easy for Surf to pick up the first, and while the remaining 2 versus 5.
75
On
sih.
this one, there's no chance you're going to save it, but running out just leads you into
Weh.
the Surf finally getting that last kill to close it 7-5. A victory in the half for XERXIA. It could have been a lot.
Cibela udah nabung ngekes bro, iya bro. Halo, Kabela, hai, just Valorant.
I'm waiting to see what FPX have in store for their attack.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to come down to, firstly, how much prep they've been able to bring in with Cider, but more importantly, just what sort of plans they've actually got set in motion, because I think disrupting someone like Surf is going to be very important.
Gara-gara
here,
mulai
but
telat
in all
nih.
honesty, it's not up to us to set up what's going to be happening in the second half, because we've got 3 absolute nerds over at the desk to do that for us.
Pretty sure that's the nicest thing you've ever said about me, Tom. Thank you very much for that one. Now, this half, I think we were a little bit surprised at how it started, but are you surprised with how it finished?
Not particularly. I mean, overall, you just saw FPX struggle a little bit at the beginning to gain some momentum off the back of the pistol round, but they have managed to put together a respectable half.
Yeah, a lot of that came down on the side of XERXIA for Scary as well, Jess, who's been really, really good on that Viper.
How many times
Aku
are you
juga
gonna
sambil
throw to me
pelajarin
about
gitu loh, kayak
Scary
orang luar tuh
in
ngebahasnya
the
tuh
world
apa
of
aja sih?
international events that you and I have been to, Yinsu. Yeah, yet again I get to say his name. Yet again he gets to live up to his name, and yet again he gets to show us why he was the top-rated Viper in Reykjavik. He comes back here and he goes, well, that's the reason I get to be one of the big dogs in the controller world. So for him overall, this has been an excellent first half so far.
It definitely has. I mean,
Mereka
Cider
storytelling banget
managed
sih,
to double
bagus
his
banget.
kills in round 11,
Kayak mereka
and
nggak
he
bahas
had
gitu loh,
some
kayak
level of performance,
contohnya
but
tadi
it
kan
has
si
been
cowok yang ngomong
scary
kayak,
show, I think. And just in
oh,
general,
sabarin
the
gue
level of
kecilin dulu deh.
discipline coming
Kayak gede
out
banget suaranya
from
anjir.
XERXIA has been better than FPX. If you take a look at their rounds,
Mereka tuh kayak ngebahasnya tuh gini loh, kayak mereka tuh kayak ngomongin iya mereka tuh they have a very good pistol round, they have a very good round, but honestly FPX have been giving a few perlawanan gitu loh. Mereka sudah memberikan perlawanan and they give a respectable half, kayak bagus gitu, kayak storytelling gak usah ngebahas gak usah ngebahas sampai kayak ke oh mereka tadi kayak gini, mereka pakai kayak gini, combo ini itu sebenarnya nggak penting gitu. Tuh, mereka tuh kayak lebih kayak ke storytelling gak sih? They're dismantling FPX, kayak mereka nih memberantaki FPX gitu, kayak bagus, bahasanya tuh bagus, kayak mereka tuh lebih fokus ke what is happening in the game, bukan kayak little detail gitu loh. Arabel bacot anjing. Nih Dev, kita kalau ngebahas harus kayak gini, Cok. Kita nggak perlu tuh ngebahas kayak combo-combo util. Sebenarnya kita nggak perlu ngebahas kayak mereka bisa main kayak gimana. Kita lebih ngebahas ke apa ya? Lebih ke apa ya? Generalnya sih. Menurut gue lebih bagus. Bakal kita jangan bacot anjing. Bacot banget nih Frost Dave sama Yanto. Ya kalau macam seru nobar. Aku mau nobar soalnya XERXIA, kalau enggak males. WK dapat Frisky. Lu juga. Kita harus ngebahas kayak, kan gue bilang kita harus ngebahas kayak, contohnya tadi tuh yang simpelnya aja kayak si cowoknya ngomong kan, mereka tuh pistol roundnya bagus, mereka abis itu bisa ngedeliver bagus lagi beberapa round, tapi karena FPX mereka bisa ngelawan, mereka bisa ngebaca, mereka bisa ngebales juga game plan-nya XERXIA. Mereka bikin first half ini jadi respectable, mereka bikin first half ini jadi sengit kayak gitu ya, kayak simple. Iya. Makanya gue lagi nonton yang Inggris. Kenapa gue nggak gini ya guys? Kenapa gue nggak nonton Rere atau nggak nonton Momo? Bukan karena gue nggak suka sama mereka ngekis, bukan. Tapi gue pengen belajar dari ngekisnya luar negeri gitu loh. Gue pengen belajar dari yang luar negeri punya, dari yang pusatnya punya gitu loh. Jadi gue bisa bawa ke Indo. Ilmunya bisa gue bawa ke Indo gitu. Bisa gue terapin lah di Indo gitu loh. Senangnya gitu, makanya gue nonton yang Inggris. Bukan karena gue gak suka teman gue ngakes, enggak. Mana itu tadi gue bilang, ilmunya bisa gue bawa ke Indo. Lu punya berapa suara sih Bel maksudnya? Suara lu kayak beda-beda terus. Kan kalau lagi nyantai gini gue ngomongnya gak serius. Maksudnya kalau lagi nyantai gini gue ngomongnya slengean. Suara yang paling halus. Suara paling halus gue paling kayak gini. Kayak gini lah, suara udah paling halus. Habis itu gue halus-halus.
Something weird's about to happen. They had to push in through lamps covered with a player hiding inside the Viper orb and just waited for XERXIA to make a mistake. I think a very
ngantuk deh gue.
the previous map or the previous half, excuse me, with
Kenapa ya?
a lot of overaggression out of FPX. Still,
Gue udah ngopi loh.
time for us to see that happen coming in.
Tapi masih aja ngantuk.
Classics for good old
Gak tau
XERXIA.
kenapa gue juga.
Don't expect very much of them.
Kayak ngantuk aja. Gue ngemil ya, gue ngemil kali ya, gue ngemil ya. Paling bener gue ngemil nih. Tunggu tactical post udah gue ngemil nih. Lapar gue. Halo Bella Gemoy, hai Deveriau. Paling halus. Ada Denning ya tuh. Coba Bel. Coba bilang Bel pakai paling halus. Dava ganteng banget deh, bacot. Gak bisa. Gak ada. Gak ada anjing, lu mau lu ngapain suruh gua? Anjir, lu kalau mau suruh gua sawer gua dulu. Sawer dulu bro, gak ada yang gratis di hidup ini, gak ada yang gratis. Gua kasih tahu gak ada yang gratis. Sawer dulu minimal 10.000. Lu sawer 10.000 gas. Pokoknya gua harus lihat cengkring gak ya saweria gua baru, boleh. Jangan suruh-suruh tanpa saweria bro. Sawer IRL aja gue belum kopi. Ah gak mau nih speak doang. Dava, Gyukaku gue belum. Gyukaku gue belum nih. Jangan gak usah Gyukaku deh. Kita go grill aja gimana? Go grill. Go grill aja deh, go grill. Kopi doang gue juga bisa beli. Go grill dah, lu anterin gue. Kita makan go grill, lu balikin gue lagi pulang. Anterin gue pulang. Jadi lu anterin gue kesana, lu anterin gue balik. Go grill aja kita gimana go grill. Bener ya? Ya udah. Kalau bener nggak apa-apa. Mana sih tadi? Dava ganteng banget deh. Udah. Goblok. Dava ganteng banget deh. Dava ganteng banget deh. Udah paling halus tuh anjing, udah gak usah lagi. Yanto ganteng banget deh. Albert koko paling ganteng. Albert ganteng banget deh. Udah cok. Jangan ngerjain gue anjing. Kalian bertiga ya, traktir gue go grill anjir. Utang udah itu. Utang gue go grill. Gak ada yang gratis ya. Yang lain kalau mau minimal sawer 10.000. Gak ada yang gratis. Ingat, pipis saya bayar 2.000. Lah kan Dapa bilang, oh Gue pikir ini. Ya udah kalian bertiga ini apa? Split build, bukan split apa namanya? Patungan lah. Patungan. Tarik ya, tarik apa coy? Ini udah kayak ngobrol nih di grup WA. Gue pengen nge-mill DI, cuman males. Kamu menurut kakak PLAYINS bisa juara berapa? Juara 1. Aku dukungnya PLAYINS. Menurut aku PLAYINS bakal juara. Aku apa namanya? Prediksi PLAYINS. Mana ini obeng gue? Oh ya sabar. Obeng cok 10.000 dulu woi Frost Misty. Kalau Dava kan mau kasih go grill lu 10.000 sawer cepet. Kalau nggak 10.000 ini joki sampai Ascendan 3 deh. Joki sampai Ascendan 3. Sekarang gua Ascendan 2, 1 RR lagi. Anjir malak ya udah nggak usah minta obeng. Lu juga malak obeng. Kamu usaha nih. Semua tuh ada usaha. Ingat usaha. Apakah bakal map ketiga? Wah seru sih. Makin lama dong watch party-nya. Mabar aja kita berdua gas. Moderator. Apaan bacot banget Dava. Parah tuh lihat. Weh Bert bacot Dava Bert. Oke gue pengen Albert jawab jujur ya. Gue pengen Albert jawab jujur. Lebih berat ngangkat gua apa ngangkat Dava di Valorant? Jawab. Lu lebih berat nge-carry Dava apa nge-carry gua di Valo? Jawab. Buruan jawab. Jawab bet. Lebih berat ngangkat Bella Hardfire atau Dava Devriski? Ayo cepetan jawab. Lu main duo nih, lu main duo kan? Main duo. Lu lebih berat dua sama Dava apa dua sama gue? Ah, berat Dava kan? Parah lu Dava, gak boleh gitu. Lu sih gak coba kalau nge-case gini kan seru. Ya kita lihat di sini FPX kita ke XERXIA masih setara 97 tapi kok tiba-tiba FPX menang 2 angka atas XERXIA yang tadinya XERXIA menang 2 angka atas FPX. Kalau di rumah nggak begitu. Oke, serve nge-push sekarang dari arah short ada 2 pemain tapi dari arah kiri, bukan dari arah kanan, serve dari arah kiri, Cruz. Kalau kamu sabun, parah kamu. Serve dari arah kiri, aku udah bilang. Woo! Nice shot. Wah, serve gila nih. Ayo serve, bisa serve. Ayo Scary, raja terakhir, ayo. Bengong lu ya. Kuping lu sepi. Wih, ini dia serve. Cok, apa meneh? Klip dia serimannya sakit kebanyakan. Semua demi Bella main enteng. Dapat Devriski. Lu jangan banyak alasan ya. Udah kelihatan klip lo nyabun di fracture udah kelihatan. Semua orang bisa lihat, woi. Gak bisa lu bohong-bohong lagi kena one tap. Gak bisa lu bohong-bohong lagi lu. Udah diklip semua sama Udil Sumermel the MVP. Udah diklip bro sama MVP Udil. Gak bisa lu bohong-bohong lagi, udah nggak valid. Oh iya Udil kasih klip kan tuh salah. Kasih obeng dulu Udil. Udil bikin nama gue makin terkenal dong. Goblok. Tolol banget gue anjir, bikin malu. Sorry udah bercanda doang gue. Halo Lian Gaming Sangna. Iya maaf ya Bang kalau gue gak sesuai ekspektasi lu. Ya gak apa-apa dimaafin kok, udah sering. Besok gue jadi orang lebih baik. Tapi congrats guys, Dava udah lolos. Dava lulus skripsi guys. Congratsin dulu dong. Congrats Dava. Lulus skripsi, congrats. Congrats. Nge-case kapan Cibel? Rabu. Dava sombong Bel, udah pernah main sama Yeberap. Iya makanya sombong dia, beda kelas sudah. Joki, lulus Istanbul gue Bel. Weh, kongres weh Dava, semoga lu sukses ke depannya, amin. Imo Joki, parah. Emang nih Dava hidupnya penuh dengan joki. Hidup Dava nih jangan-jangan di joki juga. Udah gua kasih obeng gas Valorant. Ngecat aja dulu.
So Surf had no abilities, half HP, no sound.
Ayo dong guys. Promo sampai 100 volt. 100 volt, 100 view. 100 view challenge deh. 100 view challenge. Gimana 100 view challenge? Gak usah sok sedih deh lu, Dava. Sama-sama Jas Valorant. Gak usah sok sedih, emot sedih gitu. Oke, bye Dap. Sakit hati gue bacot. Bel, ayo duet, ayo. Masa lu mau duet sama Imo Joki? Duet sama Imo beneran. Gak lah, bercanda. Dava tuh jago. Dia angin-anginan doang, mereka suges. Lu tuh kalau mau satu biji aja cow, jangan banyak nih gua nih. Mau satu aja. Makin offset gue lihat. Mulai jadi streamer skema. Kenapa nggak saya ramping hilang? Iya, Dava pokoknya KP Go Grillnya bohong. Gak bisa. Terus roasting gue yuk. Ya seru roasting lu. Hai Adam. Halo. Ini tembakannya sakit-sakit nih.
They're now in quite a lot of trouble because they haven't been able to find the pick. The Viper's pit is down. They're locked out of showers.
Ayo, dua view lagi 50. Masih jauh dari Asteris. Yang view-nya 2000. Soalnya saya bukan streamer. Bukan streamer. Gak Gogril Bandung kali Bel sama prop sama Yango. Apa tuh prop sama Yango anjir? Tuh. Cruz tajam banget. Hai Rizal. Canggih hardfire, bacot Mike. Lu mau secret lab gua? Mau secret lab gua, sawer dulu 10 juta. Gua kasih deh. Cuma-cuma. Canggih. Makan gogrillnya di Bandung. Oh, malah bertama Yanto. Gas. Wih, Sabi tuh yang di Bandung. Halo Z. Share dong. Anjir, yang nonton cuma 43, sedih banget gue. Mau ngemil lah. Mau ngemil. Mau makan permen dulu. Permen tenggorok. Canggih NZ, WD ada NZ. Saya harus boleh beli kursi bekas Bella Hardfire bos. Halo Fadlan. Like dulu dong guys. What's a big performances out of XERXIA, and in particular, it's Surf that FPX need to find a solution. Wangi ya kalau bekas Hardfire. Wangi keringet. Wangi keringet. Keringet. Kita go grill Bandung, guys. Not really having that effective trading. Like he's able to reposition, reduel, retake those fights every single time, and then look at FPX and go, okay, you need to be dealing with that. Abis watch party kita main Valo segame gitu nggak sih? Apa nggak usah? Soalnya gue cuma satu match doang. Match ini doang. Aku pengen lihat XERXIA lolos nggak? Oh ya boleh pakai mobil gua. Here we go again, same setup as before. 4 players this time. Yeah, only 2 of them will run away maybe. Gua pada di Ayana. Wah, gak mati cok. Wah, di-pick lagi. Wah, Sau lu emang udah dah. Mending lu mandi bunga dulu dah. Lu gak hoki bro. Ini sakit banget sih XERXIA cok. Dry pick anjir. Dry pick terus, dry pick. It clipped the edge of the wall, and that's enough for Angel to actually survive on just 6 HP. Abis master lah. Abis master lah, Dev. Gimana? Abis master ya? Sabi nggak sih kalau abis master, ya kan?
Not a pretty situation. One smoke to work with. 6 HP. A spike down.
Berapa sih view-nya?
Grab a kill here. No, could help them at least a little, but not a chance. Solid connection from Sushi Boys. 11th round now for XERXIA, Tom. The home stretch.
Dikit-dikit lama-lama jadi bukit.
That's the thing, 4 in a row now for XERXIA. Their defense has really picked up. The second that operator came into play, the round's completely different because I feel like...
Bella, lu ngerasa nggak kalau lu masih bisa main kompetitif round?
Fantastic
Nggak.
when it comes to setting up around the operator. If they don't have it, it's
Jujur gue masih mau, cuman kayaknya udah nggak bisa.
Even though XERXIA are in the lead and we've had this massive
Nggak ada waktu, bro.
Artis is still leading on ACS. Ain't gonna matter much though if you end up losing out on the map. Like we said, this round right here, just a couple of credits
Nggak ada waktu.
on FPX. They'll invest those into whatever trinkets
Nggak
they
bakal
can pick
bisa.
up, but for the most part, this should be a shutdown out of XERXIA. They're going to be under a lot of pressure on A though, Tom, and they have gambled up on this B site. There's no fast rotation. There's no one coming to help. Scary. He's going to have to hold on all by himself. And that nade has landed at his feet, so he's given up his secondary position. Now he's on the back side.
Besok-besok aku live-nya harus lebih cepet sih. Kayak 20 menit sebelumnya. Besok apa ya? Besok kalau XERXIA, wah ini deh, watch party. Tapi ada waktu kan kalau main sama aku, anjay gue mau. Ada dong, Profesor, Frostmisty, ayo main weh. Emang lu hari ini kerja? Emang lu hari ini analis? Atau Dava yang analis hari ini? Jadi malu. Enggak besok oh. Pulang aja weh, kalau besok mah pulang aja.
They've actually gotten away with it. A gamble out of XERXIA for the B side, and they couldn't have been more wrong.
Yeah, that's the thing with these set plays.
Wawa full si Bella, emang iya? Emang ini Wawa full?
Okay, it's caught them as they go through. It's brilliant.
Iya, itu nasi-nasian bener.
You have an eco and they go right.
Lebih karena mentai-mentaian sih.
This is the problem.
Sama rekan-rekan sama. Thank you Quintero 50.000-nya, makasih. Makasih Quintero 50.000-nya, thank you.
I think from the perspective of XERXIA, it's such a difficult round to hold on to. I mean, you saw Scary doing his best, popping his utility bit after bit, but there was so much coming his way.
Bisa media share nggak ya gue?
Earlier, Tom,
Media
FPX
share
had the
lucu sih.
utility to deal with Surf. They've tried. They put it out there at times, but he was still connecting the shots. Now we see what happens when those shots aren't connected on the other side. But that utility gets you the space, and there's another one out of this guy. Well, okay, that's one way to shut him down.
Yeah.
Kill him through the wall.
Yeah, they've taken the space into mid, and again, it's the
belum gue setting.
Players a little bit messy, and in fact, both going in the other direction. Artist needs to do
Ntar deh,
something
ntar gue setting guys.
stand a chance in hell, but he manages to get both. Almost an accidental lineup. Xiao's also found one more, and they know where Cruz is, but both players are tagged. The C's is going to hold him back.
2 match sama Wawa. Oh iya, hari ini 1 doang ya? Atau partner.
Trying to find the clear onto one of these players.
Thank you Quintero. Di perojolan ada nggak Bel? Belum masuk. Ntar kapok sama kayak Bani, kapok ya.
Well, the man was leading on ACS a little earlier on. I think he's bumped up the numbers a little bit in that round.
Pengen ngemil weh.
To 11, and it just couldn't be a better time to step it up. After that atrocious push into Lamps, I thought it was done, but they must have done just about enough damage for Scary to go down to, I mean, a shot that I didn't even see hit him. I didn't see it come close to him, but it did enough damage.
I feel like Xiao's
Time out, sabar guys, ambil cemilan.
Facial expression. Like he's not the man. It's not the man you want the camera on, because you look at like Artis or Angel, they're gonna be celebrating, and he's like, job done.
The benefit of Artis here, though, the ability, these flashes have been fantastic for getting through some of the walls. I think we saw it over on B site. You look to get out through that retake wall, pop the flash, get on the side, and close a lot of space. But it's more particularly in, like, the Lambs take, or a better example, the bathroom take that we saw starting things out quite a few rounds ago. And it was where they used up a molly, they used a nade, and they used a flash to clear bathroom just to get the orb on Angel. That was like the second round or something. And to see that level of commitment to using that utility just to garner you a little bit of map control, I think it's still surprising to see Artis walking out with that many assists on the board. He's got 9, Xiao's got 10. This is some team play resurgence out of FPX. And we got 2 left to play with. We're going the full distance no matter what, Tom. The question is, can one of these teams close it out before OT?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be difficult with the way things have been going, but you now look back towards Surf once again. See if he can find anything more on this defensive side. He's still just that one blind artist, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him take that spot, at least in terms of the fragging. Ult-wise, definitely in favor of FPX, especially when you think of the combinations you can have with that Nightfall, along with the Orbital Strike. There's plenty to be done. There is, however, a counter and a potential showstopper for Sushi Boys coming up.
You know what, Scary might have some opportunities here.
Izin nongkrong di sini sambil ngopi, gas. Lah hilang orangnya, ada Cok.
In fact, they won't. Surf connecting the shot onto Angel. It's a trade. Oh, the wide swing. Artist doesn't connect, and now he cannot afford a repeat. And Xiao's gone. I don't know
Surf
how
gila
this guy
sih.
hits the shots even when the
Surf
players are
gila
right
sih.
there.
Dia lagi gila banget gitu, lagi kayak tembakannya lagi kena banget, cuy.
I genuinely feel like Foxy was just sacrificed there so that they could actually get an advantage in the round, just getting Surf the angle needed. Throwing in a little bit of utility in towards this B side, trying to pull a rotation away, but with
Kenapa dia flash tapi nggak jadi ke B gitu, cuy?
He's all the way through. Like he's basically watching.
Dia nge-flash tapi nggak jadi ke B, anjir.
At this point. So if they do
Nggak ada niatin panjangin rambut Bel, untuk sekarang belum.
Yeah, because he's not.
Abis ini mau potong lagi.
And it's so far
Akhir
away,
bulan
they're
potong.
actually gonna go for a rotation all the way back. He might have the perfect flank instead, but for now, they might actually just have a walkthrough in towards the A side.
Oh, this is horrendous. I mean, I can't blame XERXIA for the read. The information they have, it looks like they've made the right call, but now they have to hope that they can at least delay the time. Right orbital strike to allow the flank to come through, but Zipman's already onto Cruz. Here's the flank, hasn't got line of sight. And as they come out of the orb, oh, Artis is tucked in the corner. Sushi Boy's gonna have to swing it, and he's lost his life. A great shot from Artis. Cider with another, and now XERXIA in a lot of hot water. Scary, gonna have to.
Ini Scary salah, Cok. Dia nge-smoke, anjir.
A good connection. Oh, he's gotten him. A reload now, leaving him in the
Wah,
1v1.
kalau menang gila sih.
For the drop, he's got it. He almost whiffs it. Just about getting it in time. And we will see FPX.
Kok di-smoke sama Scary, Cok?
Regulation.
I think if Scary shoots one more bullet there, he wins that fight.
I'm with you.
I like it. You could see it was correcting, and I think the last.
Itu yang smoke Scary, anjir.
That was way too close.
Scary kan? Apa gue salah? Bentar.
That round that could have gone XERXIA's way. The push through from Sushi Boys actually ends up.
Itu kayaknya, anjir.
Burden. Just because they took the information they got, they ran with it, and it was just unfortunate that the net was slipped by FPX, and then just slightly off in the timing. He spams a bullet into
Kali ini lihat Scary through the box. Udah
Ini.
langsung menumbangkan Cruz.
Tuh, ini smoke Scary, anjir, warnanya hijau kok. Tuh. Warnanya hijau, Cok. Itu smoke-nya Scary. Soalnya nih, smoke ini nih baru smoke-nya si Shader. Ini smoke Shader, ini smoke Scary. Wah. Tuh sayang banget di smoke, anjir. Wah, sayang banget di smoke, Cok. Wah. Sayang banget. Smoke. Paling panjang sepinggang dulu banget SMP. Duh, sayang banget tuh Anjir, bisa menang, Cok. Aduh, sayang banget deh. Ya. Ayo dong, jangan kalah lah. Nice. Udah, respect. Kapan Kak mabar Swallow sama Rusman? Tunggu Rusman naik Isandan. Aduh, Ote, nice, let's go. Anjir, itu ya, Scary, smoke-nya dimatiin aja. Sushi Boys emang kunci kemenangan, Cok, tapi itu di smoke, dan ketika si Brimstone-nya udah ke pocket, itu udah beda duel lagi, itu udah 1 lawan 1, Cok. Itu udah duel 1 lawan 1. Udah duel sama-sama tahu ada orang.
Yeah, we've definitely seen some long games with FPX on
Masalahnya kalau smoke-nya mati, dia kan lagi ngeplan ya kan. Dia nggak pegang senjata, nggak ada yang jagain.
time was played by FPX on this map. So just seeing that OT does give
Sayang banget dah, Cok. Harusnya udah bisa menang anjir. Harusnya ini udah menang, Cok.
Yeah, no,
Harusnya udah menang anjir. Kesalahan minor lu nyalain smoke, coy. Duh, sayang banget, Cok.
on Omen this time.
Oh, well. Going into this OT, surprisingly few words coming out of Doomrose. I don't know how.
Gue gak tahu siapa yang terjadi.
Tom. I don't know.
Kayak
That's the thing. I feel like speaking to him before.
mungkin si Scary dia buka smoke buang molly kan. Cuman gue gak tahu apa yang terjadi. Kayak pasti overlapping gitu komsnya, kayak dia mau buang molly nih buat ngedelay. Kan biasa kalau ngedelay plan kan buang molly. Tapi udah ada flank terus jadi kayak lu matiin dong lu matiin dong smoke-nya, tapi kan nggak langsung mati kan, ada delay-nya kan.
That's certainly a good motto on the team of FPX.
Lo SP kalau masih bisa headshot tuh nggak boleh diremehin nih. Nih ya. Satu hal yang gue pelajarin main di pro scene, di pro scene ladies lah. Lu nggak boleh ngeremehin musuh lu low. Musuh lu low, lu pick satu-satu dia headshot semua, lu tetap kalah, Cok. Musuh lu low, tapi lu nggak bisa tembak dia. Dia langsung headshot lu, delete. Udah momentum, delete, headshot, udah beda, Cok. Nggak bisa, Cok. Pick sendiri-sendiri tuh nggak bisa. Meskipun musuh lu slow apapun nggak bisa, Cok. Itu tuh nggak, itu tuh namanya nggak respect anjir. Ngepick sendiri-sendiri karena musuhnya lo tuh nggak respect. Not disiplin, lu harus disiplin anjir. Lu harus disiplin, lu harus respect. Itu wajib, coy. Mungkin karena kolegial bah. Enggak lah, Gel udah mati anjir si Foxy. Mau nggak kolapan? Nah itu kayaknya miskom aja, miskom. Gak ada weh, gak ada Igel suruh nyalain matiin smoke anjir. Itu tuh gak ada. Igel ini ya, nih aku kasih tahu, Igel itu kerjaannya di tim. Itu tuh cuman kayak ngasih tahu nih, pokoknya kita mainnya gini. Kita kontrol ini doang gitu doang. Bikin decision doang, nggak kayak ngajarin lu mainnya harus gini. Lu pikir gini nggak gitu weh. Rabu. FPX sama Shogetsu kurangnya. Iya itu bakal ngaruh banget kayak meskipun yang ngeganti itu juga jago ya, yang ngeganti itu juga Radian misalkan gitu orangnya. Tapi pasti beda karena komsnya beda kan, cara mainnya beda. Kok tiba-tiba kalah? Waduh. Ya.
Guys, bring the spike B. Guys, bring the spike B. I'm on B. It's clear.
They gotta be so confused when they pop this ult and go, wait, he's not there? That's just, I mean, look, the reality is that.
Sayang banget kalah.
Let's spell it out.
Nggak semua diatur dia. Igel tuh ngaturnya gitu doang, kayak lu mau kemana? Kita mau ke A, ya udah kita ke A gini, kita default dulu, kita gini. Sama Igel tuh biasanya decision mid game. Misalnya kita call-nya ke A, kita ke A, tapi B-nya dapet, ya udah kita rotate ke B. Nah itu semua harus denger GL. Shogetsu dari Ukraina ya, nggak tahu dia dari mana. Wah, dia bingung banget tuh.
13-12 as we come on to the last round of OT, number 1. Let's see if XERXIA can pull it off because now they've got the op on the defense, and this was genuinely the difference maker. We said the Surf maybe he can get something on the attack, but it's tough. Now this isn't tough, and this is where he's found the value time and time again. He's playing on the A side on top of Drone, hoping to catch someone, and looks like he's about to get the opportunity as FPX start to poke and prod around this area of the map.
They've got the info that there's at least a couple of players in towards the showers. So
Surf pakai glass cannon.
doing its job.
Igel kayak playmaker ya, bukan? Igel itu ya Igel aja in game leader. Playmaker beda lagi. Playmaker tuh kayak nggak tahu deh, gue bingung ngejelasin. Foxy! It is not necessary at all. Foxy ini masih 50 detik bro. No, Foxy tidak.
Control that he had, I guess, didn't want to be just full swung by the team. Thought he could catch them off, and he did, but The shot. Oh, that's a great nade. Followed him all
Iya,
the way, but Cruz still
final
able to
Iceland nih.
get to.
Fair play.
Eventually going down, but he might just have bought his team a lifeline to hold on in this map. Either way, it's not going to be easy because they are going to have to retake this site.
Snakebite not really going to do much to delay, although Cider does step in it a little bit at least. They've also managed to keep control of Hookah. It seems like from the defender side, they're expecting there to be someone almost setting up for a lineup.
Gila sabar banget nih.
Every single player currently within the site or Hookah, it does mean that the players on site can almost be surrounded as they're slowly being wrapped around from all angles.
One spotted at least, nade through. That's going to clear them out, push them into the spawn player, hopefully.
Wah,
But Surf falling, Scary
Wah!
taken down, and
Wah!
now the round done. FPX are picking up their first map on LAN. The debut off to a good start. And
lu
Tom,
serai
that was Xerxia's
banget.
map pick.
Yeah, a real slog of a game, I feel. Like both teams almost having that sort of back and forth all the way through. It actually ends up with Angel at the top of the board, which I don't think many would have predicted going in, but it's something that happens far too regularly for my liking. Also right up there with the first Bloods. I think the only player above him is Surf, which kind of says a lot about how he plays that Brimstone. Even still though, Cider playing on his debut for the team and on LAN.
A nice try, XERXIA.
I think we could have very easily given him that sort of excuse of having a poor performance, and although he definitely started a little bit slow, it seems that he came into the game, and I think that's the most important thing for FPX. Even if they win this game, that's already a success in my eyes, even if it's not necessarily the most clean, which this definitely wasn't.
Now, I gotta say, on the subject of Cider, I can't give him any sort of slack, to be honest, coming into this, because
Nice
FPX
try.
they have high expectations. Yeah, after Batty G, this guy came in, he looked like he'd been on the team as long as Angel was. So I'm happy to see that Cider, especially as a player coming into this roster as a stand-in, he's an IGL himself, so he understands what it's like to work under those conditions as well. Played with Looker.
Coba lihat FPX VS. Semuanya main bagus. Anjir, 3-0-in Guilty Spot. Oh enggak, mereka 3-0-in ya. Suigetsu. Suigetsunya jago sih. Gila cok, plus 16 anjir. Stres. Shader. Dari mana sih shader nih? Sampai baca chat bentar. Coba dulu oke Davin, dia bisa next Angel ini dulunya Hellraiser CS:GO bukan sih? Emang ya? Oh iya bener kayaknya. Iya cuy. Iya Hellraiser bener, wih deh. Tahu aja lu. Keren. Exit. Ini Cyrocels emang gila nih. Ini jago banget anjir. Cryocels, bukan Cyrocels. Cryo jago banget, cok. Ini Alfajar juga nih. King. Hisoka dong. Bodoh banget anjir. Ya Allah bisa kalah gue. Ini kenapa kalah ya? Mengkalah. Mengkalah min 4. Parahnya gue. Mengkalah. Kalau diinget-inget sedih bacok map ini, lu lihat aja tuh di comeback. Aduh. Bayangin cok 11-6 ya. 11-6 anjir. Bayangin match ini menang. Aduh, udah beda nasib tim. Big udah beda guys. Ini tuh match paling menyedihkan anjir di hidup gua. Match yang paling bikin gua tuh emosional tau gak? Kayak apa ya, kayak rasanya tuh campur aduk anjir. Sedih banget sih sumpah. Gimana lagi, udah kejadian. Match yang benar-benar menghadah. Aku masih pengen sih. Ini juga nih aku lagi bau banget. Min 14 cok, goblok. Mana apaan min 14 anjir. Pas 2. Lagi apa ya, lagi bukan lagi sih, masih pengen aku main tuh. Pengen banget malah. Udah gak bisa tapi udah ya udah gak bisa aja. Sudah tidak bisa guys.
Such a skin simp.
Yeah, I love
She
the
just
iron
wants to
operator.
dig at the fact I use the minimum
Yeah, and
operator.
also, right, if you want to put the IGX Vandal in my shop sometime soon, I'm not going
XERXIA.
to complain. But when it talking about the weaponry,
Yeah.
FPX, Josh, they do something pretty
Sedih deh,
funky when it
pokoknya
comes
sedih
to
banget dah.
using
Itu match paling sedih
They
sumpah,
are
Xeria lawan
geniuses. Look at this. This is the bonus round.
Itu tuh
performance.
match yang paling kayak anjir, pengen nangis, cuman gimana ya?
Won the pistol. Crew are at the
Kayak-
top. FPX are number 2 in terms of their bonus round wins. Why? Because they manipulate
Kayak nggak bisa
the
gitu loh,
economy
kayak, aduh.
perfectly. You can see it in the
Nggak
second
bisa,
half here.
weh.
They won 4 rounds.
Mengenang
off the
masa lalu
top
semangat
by
Mabila.
coming in
Enakan jadi
with a
caster apa
pistol
player?
round strat that looked fairly good. I'm not going to bore you with the details.
Dua-duanya
but
enak.
essentially here they're
Kapan
coming
nggak
in,
kesal
their
gimana,
players
Rabu?
are good. They're able to execute
Rayo
the
lebih
pistol
tajam dari
round.
Titan Spell ya,
And what's
bener,
important
setuju.
is they save
Dalta
a
bagus
couple
ngambil
of
jadi
those
Gal
goals
dulu
into
bagus.
the next round, into round 2. They are
Dalta
able
itu
to
pemain yang
dismantle
sangat
their
bagus.
opponents using a combination of
Andaikan
pulse
dia
and
lebih
strength.
apa?
And then the players, the two
Andaikan dia
players
mencintai
that
Valorant,
keep the
dia bakal
ghosts
jadi
in
pemain yang
space
lebih
with
bagus
Victor
lagi.
and Cider. Those players upgrade to a Vandal. Look at Cider here.
Gila ya, bahasa gue tuh bikin sedih anjir. Dalta itu pemain yang berbakat dan bagus. Andaikan dia mencintai Valorant, dia bakal jadi pemain yang lebih bagus lagi. Wih. Keren. Keren. Macam bikin lu mental breakdance. Enggak sih, gue gak kena mental itu. Gue map 2-nya masih oke-oke aja. Teman-teman gue sih yang kena mental. Guanya biasa aja. Kayak Aaron gak mencintai Valorant.
Exactly, because they've been doing it for a while. Like they've not been shy about the reasons they've been doing that as well. And speaking of FPX, one of the players, the substitute coming in here, did pop pop off on Bind. Here he is in the Ryzen high-speed moment with a tasty jest for him.
Yang ini mati lampu ya?
I knew he would be sort of the tip of the spear to stop this oncoming onslaught of players, but he had been using his snake bites to good effectiveness before that. Then when he peeked out, I thought, okay, he gets the one, but he gets traded. But the man just kept it going. And you know what the biggest and brightest and best thing about Sida coming in and having this Verizon high-speed moment? It's that he had a really slow start to this map. He came into the second half of where he was able to thrive holding power positions on the map. And he was able to peak with confidence. He didn't take one and go, "Ooh, I've overstepped my mark."
Yes, tadi error streamnya. Oh iya, mati lampu katanya.
He was confident enough to continue, and that is something Sugetsu would have done. So he is taking into the shoes and gone, I will do the exact same thing I'm here
He's
to
got a
replace.
shrine of Sugetsu. What would Sugetsu do? And that's just his driving force and all around.
The issue is Sugetsu would have done that 5 times in a
He
half.
would, and that is so true. We wouldn't have made it to overtime if Sugetsu was here.
That is definitely
And
true.
Sida is not going to be playing Viper on the next 2 maps unless they go crazy with the comps. So we don't really know what to expect from him even coming up.
Well, before we get on to the next map, let's take a look at Zipan.
Iya, tadi sedangnya mati lampu.
Pre-match shoot around as he's practicing and gearing up.
Emang Dalton nggak cinta available? I don't know. Ask her.
Because Josh, I know in the pre-show you said you do believe that FPX are the best Ascent team.
I think she loves Valo now. Kayaknya dia udah cinta sama Valo sih sekarang. Tapi gue nggak tahu.
A decent amount, certainly in terms of the
You better ask her. Don't ask me. I don't know.
Best stuff from Sugetsu, a very smart player. But also just the strategy that they have and an unusual composition that they bring is throwing off a lot of other teams. They have very good executes. I think it would have been more of a blow, frankly, if Xiao hadn't made it to the event when it comes to their Ascent win rate. Because his fade is such a crucial component of how they exec all of their sight hits. You know, his haunt lineups and how he utilizes the prowlers in these rounds. But I think that crowd
Pengen nobar tapi pengen main Valo juga. Pengen push ke Imo, belum sempet nge-push. Ayo Bel, keluarkan speaker. Apa weh, apa yang mau dikeluarin anjir? Halo Dwinanda. Guys, I still wanna play, but I just can't. Sebenarnya ada satu sih yang pengen gue keluarin. Sekalinya lu dikecewain, susah untuk comeback.
This one I can turn back and go, yeah, you know what, there are teams in EMEA you can beat on this, and I can put any EMEA team in front of you to beat on it.
I'm paying attention, I think, specifically to Surf here, and that might seem a bit strange because he played so
Coach of the Night adik-adik, Coach of the Night adik-adik.
Probably going to be playing Jet, and I think that also means
sekali dikecewain susah untuk comeback. Agent yang bagus buat flanker apakah? Agent yang bagus, semua agent bisa-bisa aja sih. But I think the best agent is Viper. Why Viper? Karena Viper itu enak. Nih aku kasih tau kenapa Viper itu best flank. Karena gini, Viper itu kan smoker, tapi smoke-nya tuh lu udah set up dari awal gitu. Kayak lu udah lempar smoke-nya, lu udah lempar wall, lu tinggal nyalain doang. Temen lu minta nyalain, lu nyalain aja udah sampai habis. Udah lu mainnya ya sendiri, ngeflank. Enak kan? Jadi utility lu tuh bisa bantuin temen, tapi lu juga bisa ngeflank. Makanya Viper tuh enak buat ngeflank. Viper paling enak menurut aku. Cypher enak, Killjoy enak, tapi paling enak Viper. Karena Viper ya itu tadi gue bilang, lu bisa ngebantuin smoke. Lu udah taro, lu nggak perlu. Kalau Omen kan, kalau Omen lu mesti sambil pencet E dulu, lu pencet E, lu nge-smoke gitu. Viper enggak, lu udah taro dari awal. Dari awal lu udah lempar smoke-nya, jadi lu bisa nge-flank. Bener nggak? Bener nggak gue? Bener nggak gue? Bener nggak gue? Bener kan? Viper kan kalau kalian pikir-pikir pasti Viper. Coba kalian pikirin kayak bener juga ya, pas Viper paling enak. Kagak cok, lu pikir aja sendiri Udil goblok. Parah gue katain Udil goblok. Bercanda aja dia. Tapi lu goblok sih kalau lu gak usah mikir. Enak lah Viper cok, lu pikir aja tae. Aduh kok gue kasar banget astaga. Sorry Riot, bercanda doang Riot. Soalnya ngeselin nih orang-orangnya. Streamer tidak menerima pendapat. Streamer jenderal guys. Lebih enak komen kagak lah, emang Rere Bredel.
I think this hopefully for them won't make
Nggak
that
bisa,
much of a
Omen nggak bisa.
difference. I'm
Kamu
more looking
kamu
at
pikir dah,
that
Omen tuh ada
defensive side. How much can
paranoia.
they drop? How many
Omen tuh ada
problems can they
flash,
cause?
kurang
These
enak.
setups as well by the
Kan
looks
kamu
of it.
nanyanya agent paling apa yang enak? Agent apa yang paling enak?
Just shutting down this
Aku
early
bilang
push.
ya ini.
Foxy, he swapped his gun multiple
Apa
times,
namanya?
lands the instant headshot and then gets traded out anyway.
Apa namanya? Itulah.
Not the ideal start for XERXIA on that aggression. for
Omen
sure.
bisa
Now,
TP, nggak Viper.
have to slow this down, stall it out, and
Ayo kalian tim Udil apa tim Belhard Fire? Kemarin pakai Viper main sama Jason. Kemarin apa tadi?
Look at the X's on the map of where they died.
What do you mean X's? There's one X, Tom.
There's
I see
big
one
X.
blue and I see one red. I don't know what else you want me to go
One
on
of them's
there.
a little bit more defined than the other.
That's a little bit, yeah, a little bit of a deeper color there. Stalling it out 40 seconds, you're eventually going to have to gamble that. And XERXIA are making a little gamble of their own.
Tim Rere. Kenapa tim Rere anjir?
Opposite sides, but now that turret's been taken back from A, and it looks
Rere tuh
like
branded.
stacked up on B. The right
Rere
call is
tuh
being made.
nggak bisa mikir kalau
Still
main.
on the back of the site. He's popping down a
Agak-agak.
star as well. This could help get his teammate across, and Sushi Boys picks up one. This is winnable at this point, and
Yeah.
FPX still don't know there's another player back
Tim
side.
Udil parah.
They don't have the
Parah Riven, jangan sampai kamu aku TO ya. Kamu pilih tim Udil, aku TO kamu ya.
through, and it's not
Kamu
gonna
tim
matter.
Udil, aku TO loh. Serius loh aku loh. Ganti juga, ganti sekarang juga jadi tim Bella.
Just basically what was
Tidak terima
expected
debat.
by FPX. They play a slow default. They have a couple of players. They basically use their buddy system just to make sure that it's not going to be an easy trade either way. And if you're going to have Xiao,
Ya sampai aku TO. Ini channel aku, berarti terserah aku.
The problem is as well, I feel like if you're going to make a push that deep, either you have to catch them off guard,
Tim Bella dong, gitu dong. Kayak Albert dong guys.
which they didn't.
Lope. Namanya juga ada berumur Bel. Apaan
Apaan
weh? Dia lahir tahun 97 anjir. Masa tahun 97 nggak bisa mikir? Apa maksudnya nih? Penghinaan nih Bert. Masa udah tua nggak bisa mikir Bert? Udah berumur nggak bisa mikir Bert katanya Bert. Lu nggak marah gitu Bert? Nggak merasa terpanggil gitu? Kenapa umur yang dibawa-bawa? Kalau Rere yang bodoh ya Rere aja. Kenapa bawa umur ya nggak sih Bert? Kalau Rere yang branded Rere aja cok. Jangan panggil bawa-bawa umur. Ya nggak Bert? Deal. Lu mah jebak jir. Jebak ya. Pergerakan jebak-jebakan. AP. Keluar Betawinya Udil. Kan gue lagi bahas Rere. Enak gak kena trap?
And it certainly has paid off. I mean, just look at the economy of FPX.
Tuh tiba-tiba udah 2-0 anjir.
Bonus round because technically, we wouldn't say this is a power up, would we? No, they haven't. We've got the one rifle invested into for FPX as they come in with 4 Vandals and a Bulldog. XERXIA, Odin in hand, looking to defend B main. It won't find anything off the rip, but I certainly respect the attempt.
Yeah, it was more so just to try and give Surf that little bit of extra space. And they are
Kak Bella lagi cosplay Naruto, Kak enggak, lagi cosplay Umaru.
they're currently challenging with the alarm bot
Umaru-chan.
Interestingly, actually using more of a lurk onto Xiao in this case. Like they're just leaving him behind to try and almost catch him.
Bel,
Getting
apa?
spot anybody making a move into mid, but instead it almost just seems like gamble.
Kirain jadi Mikasa.
Well, not quite.
Sasageo. Ara-ara dong kak. Ara-ara.
So with Foxy going forward, seeing no one there, he's gonna start to think that B could be a little better, and that opens up
Ara-ara.
timing for FPX, you would think, to walk through here, but that turret is
Oh,
gonna get
Udil
caught.
nyari outro.
This fam, and
Udil kalau nyari outro, ini era Udil bos. Gitu.
fresh up another reveal, not gonna quite catch them. The rest of the team towards the A side.
Ini era Udil, no play bosku.
Devastating
Was.
right away. Good recovery with Angel finding one, but they still need to get to a side.
Bayar.
That planted 30 seconds
Saberia
left,
cepet.
and he's gone
Bayar.
with an Odin through main. Alrighty.
Foxy's a bad
Bel ngomong segabrek-gabrek bro. Segabrek-gabrek bro. SGG bis segabrek-gabrek bro.
Don't risk any of your players, and then they're not going to be expecting that Odin to spam
Pay
them
mental to
straight
play.
onto it, no real way to
Segabrek-gabrek bro. Segabrek-gabrek.
even up against such a
SGGB, segabrek-gabrek bro. Segabrek-gabrek. Segabrek-gabrek.
still a very convincing
Segabrek-gabrek bro. Segabrek-gabrek.
of XERXIA, and they're gonna be able to buy
Gue
out
capek
both
cok, kalian
players.
suruh-suruh gue
Again,
terus.
both teams with their
Kalian suruh-suruh gue enak ya, gak ada Saweria ya.
You know how to pull on
Bab.
heartstrings, you know that, man? It's a
Tahan,
beautiful
tahan.
thing, the little killjoy setup.
Tahan, jangan
One current
toxic,
reveal
streamer
coming out
toxic,
of the
astaga.
fake. Same thing's gonna be going on here.
Tahan, tahan,
This is
baru
something
bab.
FPX are gonna have to figure out
Tahan.
soon there.
Kapan nge-cash bell Rabu? Tahan ya, gak boleh toxic. Ntar dicabut sama Riot nih, post party, susah-susah dapet.
Cleared, but Poseidon! Nice couple of shots, quickly trading things back. This is not the place you normally see an Odin.
No, it's not. Probably not a favorable fight, but Cruz is coming behind with another. It's got Scary by his side. The whole team now with
Lu kalau di VCT official bilang Udil era, gue Saweria nih, Saweria berapa?
Oh no.
Speak doang lo.
Revealed and no.
Speak doang lu, Dil.
Xiao now has to
Bukan era Udil lagi, bukan era Udil.
One kill and he gets
Bella mulai kayak orang Betawi gara-gara Wilson. Hantu kali ya.
needs to be quick and
Aktif
it's not
ya
quite
streamernya,
quick enough.
iya.
First kill going his way, but the trade is
Aduh duh,
instantaneous.
salah sedot.
And while XERXIA, they managed to get 2 rounds in a row. And
Halo Raden.
as I said,
Maksudnya Bapau kan ya tadi ya?
FPX have some one
Oh iya, Bapau.
options they can throw
Emang
in.
Bapau enak guys, Bapau. Gue paling suka
XERXIA have
Bapau.
been nothing but
Bapau tuh enak banget. Lu mau
pretty much
berapa
the entire
Anjas?
round. You look at the
10
way they
juta.
kicked off by serve,
Cepet nih gue nyalain ya, 10 juta nih.
he's taking angles that ultimately you expect him to get 1 kill, dash out of there.
Tuh, 10 juta buruan.
Fighting, and then you even have the like
Masa 50.000 begini nih?
pop flash through mid.
Masa begini nih, 50.000 begini nih?
5-0 on Ascent. This is certainly a map.
Masa 50.000?
The setup that they're facing from XERXIA here, it's causing
50.000
a lot of headache.
pesan makanan ngutang nih gue.
We know about the alarm bot in mid as well, and this is where we should see FPX coming into the next round of
Just
play,
Jetty.
trying to really deal with that and push
Muka lu
themselves
kayak
to the
bapak,
outside.
weh.
Already, actually, they're gonna be
Maksud lu
moving
gue
forward.
cabi, kurang ajar.
Know about that alarm
Kurang
bot.
ajar loh.
They certainly
Just follow era aja lah kalau 10 juta.
You know they're going through. Pop flash out. Xiao
Waduh.
both of them. They expected it as well as we did, but the trades come back. Sushi Boy is actually
Dapet
breaks
buat
the
DP
wall
Vario.
and manages to double up. Now Artis has retreated.
Ini Clipper tuh sahabatan ya?
They're going to make their way through on towards the A side. Did they expect Sushi Boy to be here so soon? Absolutely not. Both players caught off guard, and well, he's going to close out with a 4K, an incredibly fast rotation, a brilliant read from Sushi Boys, and FPX, they are being caught round after round.
The heat map of this game will certainly look a little bit funky. Looking at FPX,
Sahabatan.
everything was
Lo aja tuh gak apa-apa. Cabi juga bisa bikin sayang, ah masa. Emang ada yang sayang sama aku? Kalau ada angkat tangan. Kalau ada yang sayang sama aku ketik 1. Kalau ada yang sayang sama aku ketik 1.
Just perfect timing on that break. XERXIA, they got all their ults.
Weh, banyak juga. Makasih guys. Ih, jadi so imut aku. So imut, 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 so imut. Bangke kalian kenapa ketik 7 anjing? Jadi rame, Kyok. Kenapa jadi 7? Bapak lu. Bapak lu Irham. Aku Kamila ketik 1, ketik 1, ketik 1, ketik 1. Ilham, kenapa ketik 7? Irham, sorry bukan Ilham. Kirain namanya Ilham. Absen dulu, absen. Viewernya udah mau 100, absen dulu, absen. Ada Ronaldo, ada Halim, ada Devereau, ada Udil, ada Superman. So imut gak lama main. Anjing. Hanya sabisin aku isi. Ada Andreas, ada Laksana, ada Opik, ada Himawan, ada Rivin, ada Azrin, ada Badru, ada Rijal, ada DXLCSHN, ada gaming, ada Poi. Tadi lu bilang 100 viewer challenge kan? Oh iya. Belum 100 view. 100 view baru challenge. Belum. Ada Bambang, ada Iza, ada Adi, ada Rifki, ada Tavio, ada Krisna, ada Jafar, ada Ramadan, ada Christopher, ada Kevin, ada Christian, ada Indrawan, ada Azrin, ada Rifki, ada Quintero. Ketik 1 karena terancam dimarahin. 1 view joget kah? Joget keju biar kayak Windah. Joget keju gimana sih? Gini kan gue joget keju gini kan. Aduh. Aduh, goblok. Aduh, toxic banget gue. Aduh, toxic banget gue. Ampun. Joget keju gimana sih? Gini ya. Joget keju. Joget keju gimana sih gitu kan sih? Kalau joget Meksiko gini kan? Halo Rifki, toxic. Aku udah mau kesana, keselipet guys. Wall TikTok, wall TikTok, wall TikTok. Wall TikTok tapi bunuh 3. Adik-adik, wall TikTok tapi bunuh 3 adik-adik. Wall 3 tapi bunuh 3 adik-adik. Halo Surya, halo Budi, halo Permana, halo Devriau. Hati-hati bal, blunder dikit di klip. Iya cow, gue berjatuh anjir. Tadi klip gue kalau sampai jatuh, aduh gawat deh. Malu deh gue. Tadi gue keselimpet ini coy, lagi ngecas headset. Keselimpet headset. Yo, 30 lagi. Makasih guys, ketika lain yang bener woi. Woi, bakpao. Mama aku disapa Clipper idola. Bela Basudara ini mah. Bela Basudara tapi kurang viewer, kurang subscriber. Ya kan? Ayo dong biar mati kan nih, biar rame. Bener kan, gue kayak harus streaming 30 menit sebelum gitu loh biar rame cok. Kalau nggak kayak nggak rame. Sama. Makasih Irham. Kalian nonton Watch Party gua tuh nonton gua, ngobrol sama gua, mau gua ngelawak atau nonton game nih cok. Gue tadi tuh gak merhatiin anjir, tahu-tahu udah 4 sama aja. Gue tadi gak merhatiin weh. Halo Muhammad Taufikur. Aku udah subscribe dan like bel. Thank you Rifki. Lawak. Lo gak mau yang gemes. Makasih Christian. Ngelawak apa aja dari lu, gue ikut aja. Nonton Bella ngelawak, nonton Gabla teriak. Seneng ya kalian kalau gue capek. Kamu kan komedian. Gedein facecam nonton lu aja. Jangan dong. Kenapa nih kena delete Quintero? 90% nonton lawak. Tadi Donald tiba-tiba 2-2, iya weh. Ayo kita nonton serius guys. Scary! Scary! Sushi! Thank you Rijal. 1-2 kali. Kamu kan komedian berkedok keser, bener juga. Shader dari tim mana? Dari Alliance. Kalau fokus ke match ke channel One Up, betul. Masters kurang tanpa nats, iya weh. Ayo, XERXIA bisa. Ini berapa viewer sih? Kok kedinginan lagi? Kok kedinginan? Aduh. Tik 1. Holang abis pam emoji noted, sorry santai. Aduh jadi 60 nih view-nya. Butuh kehangatan. Butuh dipeluk. Ya weh, gara-gara minum kopi weh. Kita minum kopi dulu guys. Dups. Minum kopi udah kayak minum soju. Bel, ya weh. Aduh capek gue weh.
once. They don't play retake ever. So it's almost curious that they're just using these agents for completely different reasons as to what everybody else would be using them for.
Kasian mana masih muda he.
Becoming quite difficult now.
Iya weh, kenapa ya gua?
They are challenging mid, they're challenging positions, but I like the way that it's varied. I don't think they've had the same sort of mid battle in any of the rounds.
Yang di Indo kenapa sih ada masalah ya?
And again, that's going to be true. Sushi Boy's this time moving around through short. And it's going to be scary on mid. That's looking to duel it up. He's been spotted and he's caught. Cider running out in the open.
Oh enggak.
That's nice and easy. No wall to go up this time around. And no
Wow.
fall on the side of XERXIA. A prime gaming flawless. And that's a statement made.
I really love the way that they play off of each other. Like, there's moments where you might have Cruz in a 1v1 duel, but the second they realize that he is the focal point, every other member of the team is like, okay, now I make my move, now I make my move. Like, there's not even a second's notice of like, okay, I need to be peeking here to make sure I'm helping out my teammates. And, okay, sure, he does the majority of the work in the early stages, but that's where, well, you can see basically 4 members of their team are in mid at the end just to make sure they work together.
Muda jadi caster, tua jadi pelawak. Maksud kalian apa anjing? Boleh nyamer, enaknya itu Cara keluar dari rank gold gimana bang? Latihan aim. Gold platinum tuh masih aim lah. Latihan aim aja lu udah menang aim, udah gampang lah ke diamond. Diamond ke atas tuh baru gameplay. Diamond ke atas baru gameplay. Diamond ke iron ke atas. Enggak iron sih. Iron ke gold aim. Gold ke platinum itu aim plus movement. Movement kalian harus bagus. Bella the segabrek girl. Main diamond lebih susah bang. Oh iya jelas. Acius. Ya udah kalau menurut prosmisi apa? Silver terlalu mudah. Oh ini. Iron, bronze, silver, gold, aim. Platinum, diamond, movement, diamond, immo. Lightning fast.
You remember, guys, we got 4 ultimates. You might not need to fight this one.
We can retake this one time. Hey, I've got the res off.
Buat apa retake kalau bisa bunuh?
Bit awkward, but FPX, they have no trouble in the duels, at least to start with. Left into crazy shot by Cruz. One player locked out. Artis has been
hospital flick.
Pushed on top of the wall, but Artis finds a triple out.
Cruz, kamu tahu satunya di hell.
He now even knows the player.
Heaven.
Halfway stuck. He's going all the way.
Cruz.
That is ambitious. That is brave. And well, he obviously thought he'd gone further into short. What a round.
I felt like every kill decision
Heaven.
could have been put in a highlight.
Cruz Hemon.
Cruz as well, like to just ridiculous second shot, and then the pop flash as well was just sick. But this man, basically in the backline, saving them throughout this round was Artis. Huge from him, and that's the thing. Did he just almost doubled his kills? He got 4 in that round. This was so sick.
Enggak weh, kan dia taruh knife. Dia 0 point ke short.
Knife goes out. He's not close, and I think he thought to himself, I don't think he could have made it to window. Right?
It's either that, or he could have backed away, or he could have gone all the way around to the spawn.
I think when the knife hit, he wasn't out of it, but he was just about into the window. Then it actually reveals, it pulses. He's barely outside of it. If that comes in 1.5 seconds earlier, less. Half a second earlier, maybe he ends up getting the information, but instead he's like, okay, he's further back on short. I can defuse this all the way because he's not peeking me. And unlucky.
Aduh.
XERXIA to try and secure this 7th round.
Call a friend dulu, Cruz. Kamu bisa call a friend, you know. Call a friend.
Hell of a good fight, but they do not want to be equal at halftime.
No, but that's the thing. I feel like for FPX, a lot of the time you are going to look at this attacking
Turun deh.
drive. So the fact that
Kabela kok belum tidur, dia lagi watch party.
I do feel like Surf is going to have a lot more to do when it comes to that attack with taking space. Not so much in the fragging department, but with just being able to dominate. Now, we've actually going to technically have a double operator here for FPX because Angel's been dropped one over. Obviously, the tour de force is going to be utilized by Artis going into this round. And Surf also has his Blade Storm in his back pocket ready.
Ready to rumble. And I mean, it's always good to have that little bit of a safety net.
Hah? Lian kenapa mention gue?
XERXIA certainly ones that are content with using it, or with keeping it in the back pocket. The
Apa nih?
safety net being there for them the entire half.
Okay.
That's a good punish. Something that's been lacking in the majority of rounds. Artis in with the scope to equalize.
Kok nggak ada sinyal?
What's really interesting is they have 4 players in mid until Surf dies, and then it's like, right, plan over, everybody leave. Like without.
Enggak,
no
sengit
point,
kok.
They did leave Scary behind. Again, not the normal point for an Astra, and in fact, he's playing the big brain game. He's left Artis to walk past. His teammates are not going to peek off of this. He's just making sure that nobody goes down on the other side, but he buys enough time that they still just have all of this information. Even going to lock them in onto short
Kenapa nih
here,
Lian?
with them having nowhere to go but
Oh,
Right on into the stack, and still
Beda
a
anjing.
nanoswarm waiting for them. That plant's not going to be easy to secure.
Allah.
they have a lockdown
Well, I
as
think
well.
they're just outside of it, so that plant's pretty easy to secure, but it is the lockdown that's the real thorn in the side here, having to concede control over the site. XERXIA pop in the Cosmic Divide as well, so
But there's
at
a
this
wall
point,
behind it. They can't break it.
you're done.
But Xiao's
Oh.
just hitting every single shot. The problem is he's going to be detained. And his teammates
Aduh,
already
gue capek
down.
banget, guys.
I thought they were going to knife him for a second just to close out the half, but no. They are kind in their
Istirahat dulu ya.
brilliant round again.
Capek,
from
Cok.
Xerxia.
Aduh, senderan dulu deh.
Some of those ultimates, you
capek.
know, that lockdown that was there for the entirety of the half, but
Seems like a pretty,
situation was found. The Cosmic Divide as well, and 7-5. Not bad.
A really big fan of that execute in towards the end to retake the setup that they had. A good performance by XERXIA. I want to see what the analyst desk think about the second half, though.
Thank you very much, Mitch and Tom. What a start to this map. It's a highlight reel left, right, and center for both the teams. But yes, one player we got to talk about. I know you're a big fan of his. Sushi Boy's back on the Killjoy.
Yeah, the KJ is where I really feel he reigns supreme. I mean, okay, he's sort of popping over to the Rays recently. That was something he didn't used to do. He's on the Jet, as we know.
Capek weh, gue dari tadi teriak-teriak tahu.
He's been juggled around a bit since this sort of year of international play. Now he's back on a set where he plays the Killjoy.
Alfran, fokus facecam dulu, Bel. Emang iya.
Defensive side, of course, being KJ is where he's going to be the most effective. But that's where, over the entirety of his career as a KJ player, he has been reigning on both Icebox and Ascent. And it's been really impressive from him.
What I really like, though, is that he doesn't play the defensive Killjoy. He's fighting in mid on a lot of these rounds. And that was part of what was really flummoxing FPX, because they expect to get the majority of the map for free. They're not playing duelists and triple initiators that can go and grab all of the map control, and they're not expected to get pushed by the Astra and getting pushed by the Killjoy in mid. It's really potent and aggressive, this defense, and it worked fairly well, but I'm not sure 7 is enough.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, whilst it looked good, they had fade combos B main, they had, LMGs through the wall to combo and everything.
Ini Yanto, guys.
That looks good on defense. It doesn't translate to attack on this map, and they know that. And that's something they've struggled with in the past. Now it's an opportunity for FPX to really give them a taste of their own medicine.
What have you made of the Astra as well?
The Astra, I mean, I think they've been playing so aggressively that it hasn't made too much difference so far. They've found decent value out of it, but let's see how they end up working it on their attack side. They're going to have to try and support Serve as he's getting into uncomfortable fights and seeing if he can get value out of the rifling. Again, all the questions still here for XERXIA, despite the fact that they have the lead. It was the same score on Bind and they couldn't close it out.
Yeah, let's see. Indeed, Mitch and Tom, let's close this half out.
Well, it's time to kick off that second half, Tom. I have to echo what was said on the desk. I don't know if 7 is going to be enough for XERXIA, but this pistol will certainly help them out. Already looking for a bit of control around mid. These guys like to fight it a lot on the defense, so no surprise. But it looks like FPX, they've got some of the same ideas. They're actually just dominating with Angel on this Ghost. He's taken 3 kills, and just like that, the pistol round seems to be completely out of their grasp. Good damage done, but Angel will find a 4th.
Yeah, I believe that's now both pistols heading in FPX's favor. A huge round from Angel, and maybe trying to take a leaf out of the book of XERXIA. Okay, you can fight mid every single round. Well, maybe we'll give it a go as well. I will say that again, I think that I'm looking for XERXIA to prove again that they can almost do things more so on this
Gelasnya
map and
pecah.
play around Surf, because he definitely struggled more so in the last map. But I do think we're
Kecil banget kecil tapi segede kok.
I said, like,
Gede
I
banget
think the FPX have
weh.
always been incredible on their attack sides of this map, and XERXIA did an incredible job just to basically disrupt them all the way through. So I want to see what they've got.
Gelasnya
They've got
pecah.
to do the same thing.
Gara-gara
versus
Yanto.
that defense.
Early aggression from
Yanto.
FPX. It's like they want them to think that they're inside a wine, want them to maybe swing around behind that smoke. And that might be coming through. Oh my god!
Aduh,
I've seen
pecah lagi.
Foxy jumping through the smoke from up top, from the top rope. A good idea, but not one that's yielded them any results. This is a strong round out of FPX. Clocked themselves to 7-7. But this is where the real trouble begins. You know, regionally, XERXIA are pretty strong on the attack as well. I just don't know how it translates.
The thing is as well, like we've just seen the sort of polar opposite to what we had in the last half where they bought into all of the rifles. They've now gone where a couple of players have saved up the cash so they can invest into the rifles in this one. So there's still going to be some danger going into this bonus round for XERXIA. I'm mainly looking at the likes of Angel, who's managed to get so many kills over the last couple of rounds that he's actually going to have a Vandal here.
Yeah, it's no surprise to see FPX with some stronger weapons coming into round number 3. Zipban has the ability to duel on range. He's holding a main right now, Angel, in towards a short, but it's the B site that's going to have all this pressure, so a lot of the weaker weapons about to be challenged as they make their way through. Cider, Vandal in hand on the back side, supported by Xiao. They've got to do, I mean, a lot of work up against these Vandals. Wall's going to at least delay them a little bit, the slow as well.
Yanto gimang!
You know, if this is going to be a little bit of a distraction play from Cider, this could work out massively.
Gelas gue pecah, Yanto!
Close in that smoke. I think
Beli di Shopee!
realizing that FPX
Di Shopee, di Shopee, di Shopee.
trying to at least clear out some of the room first.
Just about able to escape that corner, spam through, going to be spotted, and Surf, a little bit risky. I don't think they'll expect the rifle to be at the back of the site though. Cider already getting one on the close position, a lot of damage. Nobody goes down. Surf, 2 quick headshots, trade back from Artist though. And now the remaining 2 locked into the site. I think it's been realized by Foxy that they need to almost reclaim a little bit of extra control, not allow the build.
Harus pakai ini guys, solatif sakit banget. Duh, sakit banget weh.
Surf's got 4. Unbelievable. We question this guy with a rifle. We know he can do it with an op in hand, but he has certainly stepped up in the moment of need.
I think as well, even though
Check
this
out
is a lot of
them!
damage, you have to bear that in mind. FPX, yeah, they invested into a couple of rifles, but ultimately they can still purchase into this next round and comfortably. The Blade Storm is going to save XERXIA here because they are able to have Surf basically play that alongside
Kacanya
a pistol,
kemana-mana.
to make sure that everybody's still in a pretty decent position. The main game changer though in this round though is going to be Artist. Like we didn't really get to see a massive amount of what I guess from what we've seen from him normally on the chamber thus far. But he should be able to do it on the defense.
They beat the smoke. You don't see that all too often. Surf just running around the corner to take Zipan and then jumping past it off. I mean, very successful thus far. Confidence that's paying off at least. But the rotation they've dragged from FPX, B's completely open.
They're gonna get a rifle as well. Like that's the thing. This is basically just a free.
Lihat guys, Yanto malah diem doang guys. Duduk di secret lab, jewer dulu jewer.
He hasn't rotated or anything, and actually look where his teammates are. They started to push up mid, but they've been caught by Foxy in a pretty rough position now. In fact, I think Artist is dead. He'd have to get the timing almost spot on, and he catches him through the air. So damn accurate. And while it leaves just one man to defend this Xiao here from the beginning, and he will be there at the end.
The Xiao show ending early this time around. That was a strong round from XERXIA. Surf swing on A main, speedy as can be, and it just didn't seem to stop. That shot on the Artist was utterly disgusting. There's a reason this man is 18-11 right now. You know, we'd sit back and we'd sit there and say, hey, you know what? With an operator, this guy's great, but he just seemed to do it with something else. Well, there's the rifle, there's the ult.
Jewer
I
ginjalnya
don't
Bel.
question him too much more right now. This attack certainly off to a fantastic start.
Ginjalnya di mana
That
nih?
was always the worry. Like we saw this roster when they had Madipan, and it was like, okay, is that person going to be replaceable?
Aduh,
So good.
kenapa sih watch party gua rewel banget?
Surf is up there. Surf is definitely up there. Same sort of just individual flair
Capek
that you
gua.
need from your jet player. If you're still going to be running a jet,
Watch
like,
party
he needs to be able to
berujung
put up these
olahraga,
numbers,
anjir.
especially with that Blade Storm. And as I said, that was their economy saver. That was the problem they had going into that round, that without that Blade Storm, thereby stank. And instead, it ends up actually winning them the round.
Now Zipan attempted this peek earlier and was absolutely destroyed by Surf. It looks like, coming in the minute left on the clock range, we're going to get that same peek once the smoke has dissipated. This time Surf with the rifle in his hand instead of the Blade Storm, but he's only up against the Sheriff. As you can see, pretty easy time on that. Making sure to clear wine. They're going to go for control over site. Here's the dash through, but there are 2 players here. Headhunter finding nothing.
Oh, it's not gone well, that's for sure. Finally, we'll get one with the classic, and Poseidon's really hoping to get anything he can here. Shao still. Play with fun. They are being mowed down. 10-7. XERXIA now in an incredibly strong spot on this attacking side, and while we're starting to get to the end of this map for FPX if they don't manage to take this round.
Like I said, XERXIA regionally a strong attacking team, but there was always going to be that question of how does it translate, you know, what do those regional victories mean on the international stage? But right here, there's got to be no doubt about it. XERXIA are able to bring that same level. 3 rounds ahead and close to closing this out, and we have to remember this is FPX's map pick. You know, after an incredible bind, a very solid performance, we knew they weren't going to come in and look flat, but this is an impressive step up from this attacking side as they move out quickly. Surf's confidence only seems to be compounding.
Yeah, again, like Shao, it's just such a horrible position to be in. He's got the entirety of their squad just running in, and the rest of the team so far away. Just being able to isolate those early duels, and just at the moment at least they can't pick up Angel, but he's just having to spin around, can't hear a damn thing, and well, Artist was hoping to put this tour de force to work. He's at least found what. Look at where Surf is.
Yeah, that's not an
Who's
angle.
pre-aiming this angle?
Not Artist, that's for sure. 11 rounds on the board now for the attack. FPX have got to be sweating. You can be your map pick and all that, but XERXIA showing that they're here to play. The answer has to be immediate. I wouldn't be surprised to see a pause coming out from FPX after this, just because
Flash was so, he must have gone over it. Like that, do you realize how ridiculous your setup has to be for a man to dash over a flash? It completely blinds your opponent, and you be able to see clearly. Like that is something that they have clearly set up. I think he actually popped it through the little gap in between the window.
Could be.
It goes over the top,
Off
down,
the roof, goes down below the wall,
and then he goes over the top. But even still, if that's a millisecond early, you're still flying through the air and you're completely blind.
Yeah, if you're in a different position in the air, if it misses even
selektif
slightly,
lagi biar aman.
Kesnet nade, you know, you never know.
That's a cool setup. I like it.
It is.
And they've had a few of them. Like I think their defensive side setups were brilliant. But now going into the attack, like I almost am getting the sort of flashbacks to when we see Kesnet play the attack. It's like you have him as that tip of the spear, and then you have the rest of the team basically doing what they can to set up. Cruz has been fantastic at that throughout the entirety of the game. Like the pop flashes they've had into mid on the defensive side to give them space through the smokes that are being put down. He's currently sat on 10 assists, but I really don't feel like that even comes close to telling the story of his impact.
This timeout for FPX is going to have to be full of solutions. Very limited time to get back into this one. The runway in front of them, it's looking rocky. Look at that. They've got a rifle on Artis. Everybody else playing in with some seriously weak weapons, light shields all around. On the defensive side, there's some opportunities.
Udah nggak ada ya, sakit banget anjir.
Chance for XERXIA to have 5 opportunities to close out this map, Tom. They win this one here, and that's what FPX are almost conceding. They're allowing that to happen.
Aduh, sakit banget. Aduh.
Certainly speaks to confidence in their
Capek
defensive
gua.
side. Let's see if they can make this one costly. At the very minimum, they've gotten themselves into wine. This is a position
Gua
they've
takut
been very
weh.
cautious of before.
Sakit
Artis, though,
soalnya.
with 1 rifle. Okay, only good for 1. Oh.
Oh, gila nih. Wah, tapi dia mati.
Player on the other side to be blind, but that has worked out awfully on the other side. They have the information of where Foxy's going to be. You can even see the trap being placed into mid. Xiao just making his move all the way over to the other side, knowing that that rotation hasn't come through. Orb going to be taken for Foxy, but he is trapped.
This 1v2. Almost impossible. The angles that he has
Sabar
to
weh,
get
gue
when he's
capek,
deciding
Cok.
to go to spawn.
Ngos-ngosan anjir.
Costs him a little bit more time, but it's worthwhile to avoid peeking through mid. Those steps might
30 seconds left.
be heard. No, he's just about far enough away by the looks of things. There it is, though. He heard him. He heard him now for sure. That information there to play with.
Kenapa ya gue ya
He's
gini
gotta
banget
be
bikin
careful not to go
kerjaan.
out too early, and Xiao's got it down to a T. Early rotation from Cider. He won't get here in time. 10 seconds left, though. Maybe they can delay it down just by rushing. Can they see him? Yeah. Oh! Okay, I thought he was going to just keep going left and right. Like, oh, you're not going to plant, are you? That could have been awkward, but there you go. An 8th round found for FPX. I had zero faith in this one, and it's Zipan with 3 kills on the Sheriff that gets them. It's the, going through their own cosmic.
It's the duality of the Cosmic Divide. This, I have no idea why that was the plan. You're up against an eco round. You know you're up against an eco round, and your plan is to run through your own Cosmic Divide without.
Oh.
And it's not like
Ini berdarah, guys.
No,
I'm there. All right, I get it. But there was a lot of time, man.
It's always been the case with Cosmic Divides. We saw it all the time when Astra was played more regularly. Like the amount of times teams would lose off the back of their own Cosmic Divide, and that's basically what's happened in that round.
Artis has got that operator, as we saw. He attempted some mid-aggression, but got pushed back off the angle. Now he's over towards the B side, and that's perfect. That's what XERXIA want. They're gearing up for A after faking it out a little bit. Still that Prowler coming up through mid, smoke on top mid. They're really trying to tell these players that they're fighting for that control. But it looks like FPX are starting to get suspicious of it as well, Tom. And with this trap down on mid, I think that's the main point for them. They haven't seen anything around there, and with the utility that was put through, it almost telegraphs that this is going to be an A play.
Ayo, map 3 ya!
Instantly, we see the ultimate pop
This is what
take away any utility that could have been there to try and slow them down. XERXIA, what's getting into these after plants have been pretty good, and I can't say I remember a particularly strong retake coming through, except for in the 2v1 that we just saw. There's a lot for FPX to try and find here, and well, they're hoping that maybe Artis can get a little bit lucky with the shots. It hasn't happened. Instead, Xiao being pressured, being pushed, and they are isolating these jewels one by one. A man advantage taken, and still so much to find. And while Zipan has just been slaughtered, it's left all on Poseidon. No time to really get his teammate back from the fray, and well, the clock already ticking quite far.
A great flank protection.
Yang tau udah mecahin gelas masih
He was
duduk
down
Ci.
about A-long, sat there for the entire
Sambil
round.
jewer kali ya.
Eventually, I think he might have just caught the steps over on short, used that as the trigger point to go straight back through. And it's also because he's holding that flank, and you've got Heaven being watched by your Jet. These 3 players say, all right, you know, we're not going to sit here and wait for them to do something. Let's push through short, take the fight to them.
That's always been the thing.
Itu apa sih artinya?
Great if they're given the time to actually have their setups. They're one of the teams that
Itu apa weh?
to run that clock down and then play back into it. But in this case, XERXIA are just not allowing them. I feel
Bahasa apa
like they
sih?
played almost the perfect counter card. Cider, though, I don't know, he gets away with anything there. I'd completely blinded up, sticks around, and Surf loses his head.
I think Surf tried to beat the Sage slow, like dash through it, or maybe he was just wide swinging the entire
Spammer nggak
time.
jelas bel. Mbuh bahasa cacing. Parahnya itu ya pakai bahasa Indonesia aja ngapa? Nggak paham kita guys.
I don't understand. You already know he's there. Don't even give him the opportunity to try and take that shot, but wall down. You can see the patience from XERXIA. Not wanting to overextend, but also not wanting to allow that map
3
to be kept hold of. Foxy, he's actually going to lose that battle as well. Xiao more than happy to just stick that fight out.
Foxy mode Vausi begitu tuh.
There's still 3 players here just because of the control that Xiao was able to hold.
And there's your information as well. Zipan's knife just landing and revealing, I think, 3 of them.
30 seconds left.
Ready for them to flank back through mid. Another star going down. That could be problematic. They can smoke themselves out, get themselves a little bit closer, or is it?
Masa iya di comeback?
No. Oh, it is the fake. Okay, it's dropped, and Zipan's able to trade out one sider up close. There's Spike, and with this, the round is done and dusted. There were way too many players to deal with. 12-9. FPX need to win.
Emang notif Discord masuk ya?
XERXIA, I don't think they need to worry just yet, Tom.
Sabar ya.
Just look at those finances. It's not like they'll be taking an eco.
Streamer mode gimana sih?
Too soon.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, on the other side, FPX are still in kind of a weird spot. I think they failed at actually picking up one of the guns. They ended up with a Guardian instead of a rifle, which is definitely going to be a little bit infuriating. Ultimate-wise, the only one they've got online is the Res, and I'll be honest, with the majority of these rounds, there's not really been an opportunity for them to use it. It is either the site has completely fallen, or we've won the round. That's basically it. It's been fast-paced from XERXIA, but they've had these back-and-forth rounds, and the streaks from FPX haven't really been the case. The other terrifying prospect is just the ults that are on the other side. Lockdown, again, it's online in almost every single round. No surprises there. Sushi Boys really hasn't been using it much. But then you also do have that Nightfall. Basically just being able to give you all of the information, and when you have someone like Surf with a Blade Storm, that can be enough.
It definitely can, as we've seen time and time again. Really finding a new lease of life on that attack side, because the struggle has been there in the past. Like you said, that operator combined attack really wasn't connecting the sort of value we were looking for. And I think they mentioned on the desk as well that outside of the op kills, his rifle kills weren't really there either. But this has been a complete turnaround for him. 22 and 14, really leading the charge for this XERXIA side. And they'll just need 1 out of 3 with a good bit of economy backing to them.
You're not going to buy a rifle.
Yeah, it's Blade Storm time. I mean, why?
He's so confident in it.
Take that extra equip time, try to spray him down. Let's see.
Halo.
We basically got 8 of the
Halo Cembrul, halo Sohib, halo Gaming. Waduh, 2 untuk 2, nice flash, nice. Nice banget anjir flashnya Cruz. Kayak mantep gue tuh mantep.
With the man advantage, they're close to taking FPX's map pick and pushing us all the way to Haven. Cruz, he's really just been lights out so far. This guy's impressive. You might look at that 14 to 16, right? It's like, oh, he's not like fragging like crazy, but it's the flashes, man. I think his utility has been just on point from the get-go, even in the previous map.
Makanya emang dari dulu gua ngerasa Cruz ini bagus banget flashnya.
Slow them, a great little contain. Angel can't do a thing. And a reload out of Zipan even after swapping weapons.
Jagoan siapa sih? Peperex. Map 2. Kita nonton YouTube dulu ya guys, bosan-bosan. Kita nonton YouTube dulu yuk. Nonton YouTube dulu guys. Nonton apa ya? Nonton kacau kali. Apain dia? Tolol aja tiba-tiba. Bani marah-marah mulu dah.
Siapa emang yang ngomong 13-9?
Search saja Lena. Emang ada.
Map 3 apa ya tadi ya?
Kenapa nih dia marah-marah nih dia? Marah-marah mulu Bani anjing.
Streaming apa sih Lena?
Heaven.
Marah-marah mulu dia. Gabung aja Bel sama Kaco. Emang dia di mana sih? Emang dia di Boy Wait Love? Oh iya di Boy Wait Love dia. Optik. Apa sih nih? Jokesnya nggak paham gua. OPTK DRK apaan weh?
Rumah gua Bang Agra.
Ah malu ah masuk BWL.
Halo.
Lu mesti pindah ke circle hijau dulu baru bisa BWL. Ah gua nggak di circle mana-mana weh. Nggak tahu weh. Minta obeng mana Bel nggak mau nggak usah.
Why you do that? Halo.
Iya nggak mau ah. Gue ingin sendiri aja. Nih.
So information is there. Surf getting out of this is going to be difficult.
I only watch when it's on Jet. I actually only watch when the POV's on Jet. Otherwise, I'm reading the chat. I heckin' love Jet. I heckin' love Jet.
Guys, we've got 4 ultimates. You might not need to fight this one.
We can retake this one time. They have got the res off, and now they're going to be looking to plant it. Shao. One popping it down. Nightmare on its way. This could be a little bit awkward.
What the
but
fuck?
FPX, they have no trouble in the duels, at least to start with. Left into a 3.
Ini yang tadi nih.
One player locked out. Artis has been hurt up close. He's being pushed on top of the wall, but Artis finds a
Oh,
triple
no.
out of it.
Good
Cruz
flash.
not known to be up top.
Oh!
It's crazy. And it's
Jago banget dia nge-flash anjir.
Heaven, 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 Heaven,
Evan, 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 Evan.
ambitious.
Dian aja si Abi. Iya.
Evan, 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 Evan.
So
Aku pengen ngeliat case-nya gimana.
But Artis finds a
Oh,
triple
no.
out of it.
Good
Cruz
flash.
not known to be up top.
Oh!
It's crazy, and it's worked out. He now even
Heaven,
knows the player's
Heaven,
gone towards
Heaven,
after not
Heaven,
being detected.
Heaven, Heaven,
Halfway stuck.
Heaven,
He's going
Heaven.
all the way. That
Okay.
is ambitious.
That is ambitious. Ih, bagus banget. Terlalu ambisius. Ih, bisa tuh aku pakai. Bisa dipakai. Nah, itu enaknya nonton caster Inggris. Kita dapat vocab-vocab baru kayak terlalu ambisius. Wede, terlalu ambisius. Ambisius sekali. Kan bisa dipakai kan? Gemes banget ya, Ebi. Gemes. Gak pakai makeup aja cakep, buset dah caster. Enggak, jelek. Thank you. Very ambitious.
Ya nggak salah sih, ya nggak salah. Habis ini
Kenapa jadi nonton begini? Nontonin dulu nih. Besok cosplay Pikachu kak, boleh tuh. Tapi jaketnya aku cari dulu ya, takut hilang. Aku nggak tahu jaket Pikachu aku kemana. Tapi harus pasti ada sih. Hari ini Umaru. Nontonin dulu guys.
In every sport, top dogs come and go. This will be a changing of the guard.
Belum ada klip Bella di channel gua, duh.
And we're here to stay.
Belum ada ya. Pasti nggak pakai jelek buset dah kayak seru. Nah. Bangsat nih manusia ganteng.
Our flexibility.
Caster yang berewokan sama cewek gemoy itu bagus, nge-case-nya Bella bagus. Yang berewokan siapa? Emang ada yang berewok ya? Lucu banget Kak Bella, bonekanya asem. Dan nonton podcastnya per second bareng sama saya belum Kak Bel? Belum. Kayang Bel biar di klip Just Feller. Gue udah pernah kayang nggak bisa, emang nggak bisa kayang gue. Jadi nggak ada yang bisa di klip karena nggak bisa kayang.
La experiencia de haber estado en todos los internacionales obviamente nos da una ventaja y yo creo que ya no tener nerviosismo, estar jugando adentro de algo tan importante como un internacional.
They look very good. They play very aggressive, and I think that can catch a lot of teams off guard, but no one's gonna scare us.
They come here as the third seed from EMEA. No expectations, no eyes on them. And that is them, besting the Reykjavik champions. Leo finalizes in 4 kills for him. What a finish!
I'm gonna show you why EMEA is the best region in the world.
Vamos a probar que somos los ídolos verdaderos.
Masih ada weh, sakit banget. Ramah banget streamerku satu ini, ramah. Lo kenapa pecah? Iya weh. Siapa yang menang Bel? Belum. Izin meminta matiin WA, gue kena gocek mulu. Oh iya. Gue matiin WA dulu guys, bentar ya. Bener-bener gila nih. Aku pemarah banget dah. Kakak lagi di studio rumah sendiri. Mau pakai antis tapi takut sakit guys, luka-luka tangannya. Enggak sakit. Ih, enak banget bawa ini. Main apa? Kok malah main? Belum kan? Belum. Nonton dulu guys. Nonton channel Indo dulu.
Tapi nggak maju-maju karena ada sentinelnya.
Iya.
Nggak terlalu maju juga ya. Meskipun memang ada beberapa orang yang cepet banget langsung menang XERXIA-nya. Nah, yang nggak bisa diantisipasi waktu main defender. Ini yang sulit nih.
Iya, yang kita gadang-gadang kayak mereka bakalan kuat nih.
Aduh. Kayak kue walkout. Foxy. Kenapa tuh scary? Scary gak jelas anjir, goblok. Apa nih? Nih gue nonton nih klip Udil. Aura Rere kok gelap sih Bel? Emang makanya tadi tapi gue takut ngomong gitu. Di Bigo udah play match emang udah? Belum. Source kamu salah ya, Foxy ganteng juga lumayan. Bang Fauzi mirip Patipan ya. Kakak Adi weh dia weh, kakak Adi weh. Gue baru nggak kok sisa satu doang di highlight streaming lu private ya, iya.
Botão para.
Kena cara não. Não. Não tem parede.
Bateu, aí, botão.
Calma, eu vou dronar, tá facada.
Tá, eu vou olhar a parede.
Vou dronar,
Ele fez flecha, eu pegar.
Vou dronando facada,
Aqui,
na cara.
Quebrar.
I fake. Go B. Trust me.
B player, that's a B player.
Go.
He has white,
Oh, it's down.
John, do you have wall? Sage wall?
I do.
Putting my smoke down.
He could cross yellow, maybe on timing.
I need my juice.
Seru nih.
Yeah, bolt. I'm gonna get it.
Two on site.
Pop your thing for me soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't really.
There's
just
been
lurk,
wall.
We're fine.
Top side.
Wait for my ult.
Top side dead.
Nice.
Watch
They have res, Austin. They're gonna res top side.
It's fine. I'm not gonna play for it.
Costas e dá pra me rezar.
You're gonna res top side. I'll try to ping body.
You try to spam.
I'll ping bomb for you guys.
Try.
You can flank around yellow. No one's holding our back.
Can you hold this, Sean?
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah.
I have to ping?
Guarding. Yeah, I have back yellow.
They can go push yellow.
Lagunya itu lo bikin deg-degan.
Side low.
Ping the bomb.
Back, left side yellow.
Nice. Austin.
Get him, Austin.
Yeah!
Nice try, Austin. Nice try.
Nice.
Good round, boys.
Anjir, keren dah. Ping the bomb. Keren coy. Gak ada niatan bikin membership belum weh. Ntar lah tunggu jadi streamer dulu. Ini masih belum streamer mode. Sudah mulai Bel, udah. Oke.
Well, this is starting to simmer away, just drift away from the side, and it's gonna be Cruz!
Oh, Cruz!
The word is not slow-mo, but can we get a very slow-mo of that plant into headshot from Cruz? I don't know how he could have done that. That was insane. Okay, so that's the first. Here.
Itu respon sih, reaction time.
I need to see that like 7 more times. That was unreal. I'm gonna have that on loop tonight before I go to bed.
Gila.
Oh my.
Keren ini Ceriwis.
4 kills for Cruz, pretty good pistol.
So you know that guy earlier that said, please don't jinx FPX, and you went, he's done it in the last.
Pakai bahasa
again, and then they lost. That guy's not
belum dapet.
No, I don't think he is. I will say, I don't think many people have seen that coming. You know? Oh, good nade. It's not got to be just about round of the corner. Good movement, solid stuff. Being done here down to a 2v2. I'm getting a little bit to be honest. On as well. It's on the Sushi Boys. Now he wins these. He wins these every single time. He's got a Spectre, low HP on the other side. Good kill already. Artist needs a headshot, misses the first. Oh, that could have been. It is indeed with Artist on a triple. They will win the second round. If this is a sign of what's to come, I don't think my heart's going to be able for this game.
He wins this every single time.
Yeah, I'm going to stop talking now, to be honest, actually. I'm just gonna,
Mitch Man's going to become Mute Man in a sec. We're going to start unplugging all the cables. You can see our sound guy just panic in the background.
Listen, it's balanced. You know, I cursed one team, you gotta curse the other. You know, now I'm done. Now we'll leave it.
Yeah, now it will return to normality.
Satu peluru! Satu peluru!
See, Tom, you don't seem to understand how this works. That's what's on the screen. He's got a knife in his hand. Wow. Third round. Pistols.
Doesn't have a knife in his hand.
The attackers. That's a good point. He doesn't. It was in the wall. Now it's gone. And they've seen all.
Oh no!
Mechanical breakdown here. That's a disaster.
Is that another win for the Spacebar gang?
What happening is this match, bro?
He's done a lot of damage.
Ini match gila, Cok.
The trades come back. I'm seeing more frenzy.
Ini match keren, Cok.
Really wanted to.
Waduh. Kok bengong ya? Waduh. Sayang banget pakai ulti loh. Hai Alda. Ntar bapak yang satunya sakit banget. Iya weh, anjir satu peluru, Cok. Masih bisa ini, tenang. Calm down. Calm down. Canggih ya dulu, canggih.
Normally the challenges we give him are to like find out different things within the game. I'd like you to count
yang nonton gua berapa sih?
curses around.
Oh, 80. 20 lagi 100. Ayo, road to 1000 view. Segabrek-gabrek, bro. Rizky bisa gabrek-gabrek, bro. Halo Rizky, segila-gilanya mas kemarin lebih gila sih. Iya, Cok. Seru anjir. Aduh. Ente. Aduh. Foxy mati banget nih. Oh nice. Aduh nyabun. Aduh. Nice. Tolong 2. Aduh, jago banget. Aduh sorry ya, kamu aku gigit. Ada Oni, halo Oni. Halo kak, aku sub baru bangke. 100 view kabel lagi giveaway enggak? Watch party sampai match crew enggak? Match ini doang. Watch party sampai match XERXIA lawan FPX aja, habis itu aku udahan. Cuma 1 match aja hari ini guys, oke? Hari ini 1 match aja. Oke. Jago banget tuh anjir, satunya tuh nge-picknya sambil jongkok, satunya berdiri anjir. Gila weh, gila. Gila. Apa-apaan watch party 1 match, capek woi, capek. Ini streamer capek.
deciding if they're going to go for a closer. If Surf's going to have the opportunity to pick up this
Minang geng na minang swang, minang geng na minang swang. Sampai hari apa ini Kak? Sampai akhir bulan kayaknya deh.
The thing is, they have got to
Minang sang na minang swing, minang swang 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 na minang swing. At least 1,5 match lah. Capek coy, aku sesi aja weh, izin dulu weh.
Mitch, can you read that one out, please?
Yeah, I think it says something about Angel. His flashes have been really good, something like that.
Miss Haskers player 2 times today.
Yeah, I know, you throw me under the bus.
Lucu banget weh trivianya. Goals kakak di bulan ini apa? Apa ya goalsnya? Jangan muluk-muluk deh, dapat 100 juta aja udah seneng. Izin ditolak weh, jangan weh. Halo Cikarin, halo. Dicek anjir Karin. Selasa watch party lagi Kak ya. Selasa watch party, besok watch party santai.
It still seems to be an attempted push in towards his B site, however. I just want to say, if Angel blinds himself this round with a flash, I'm gonna laugh my head off. He doesn't have one anymore. That's sad.
No, he doesn't. That'd be more impressive now. That's been a shutdown from Artist.
Itu muluk-muluk weh, itu nggak muluk-muluk weh. Nonton nama aku dong Bebel. Kenapa nih Albert jadi begini tiba-tiba? Asu. Ayo nonton, lu aja di Ayana, sinilah ke rumah. Albert kan udah tahu rumah di mana. Mau bikin e-reviewer. Wah. Weh gelap weh. Theo aku dong Kak. Oke aku Theo, kamu Rifki. Dah.
He's willing to push and also just playing that almost rotational op. He's now on that A side looking to
Nah
take
Theo
safe
kamu
fight
Rifki.
in this round.
Yaelah hitam-hitam. Padahal masih pengen dibotakin, lu gua botakin. Sojiro memarata. TO orang di bawah aku dong Kak, WK di TO. Gak boleh, bolehnya di sini request minta di TO. Request minta TO boleh. Request TO orang lain gak boleh. Request TO diri sendiri boleh. Kak, apa mola? Panggil doang.
Decimates Surf on the other side, goes for the repeat though, and Cruz is waiting, has spotted a couple of players, and the rest of the team are going to try and move in for support.
He barely held on there, fraction of HP.
Waduh, wah, gelap nih map. Calon-calon kalah nih. TO dong Kak. Oke, TO dong Kak. TO. Kena TO kamu deh SHTG. Kak aku request injek aku dong Kak. Ntar kalau ketemu ku injek kamu gaming. Wah kenapa Xerxia nih? Iya nih aduh. TD nih turun ide. TND turun ide. Turun deh kere. Aduh. 1 lawan 2 anjir. Nice. Malam Kak Bella Tobing. Halo malam. Kok jadi Bella Tobing? Scary nih bos.
In that situation, no stars online and none refreshing, so you're not even an agent anymore. He had his old.
Ayo tepuk tangan. Scary. Ayo. Scary, let's go.
So instead, he just takes the fight right to him. Beautiful stuff inside.
Scary.
Clutching out the round and giving XERXIA a second, a foothold in this half. Still, they're going to face heavy opposition.
Kalau kata kacu shoo. Scary.
Possibly be exposed to. Now they've got to deal with him in another way.
Well, that's the thing. There's only so many times you're going to have the Bladestorm. Instead, though, Cosmic Divide put down straight away to give them access to the site. Paranoia from side.
Nice flash. Fault line-nya kena temen.
Well, the swing risky as hell, and it doesn't work.
Oh, the nade's actually going to cause some problems.
Wah, nice. Wah.
so many players on long. They have to wait for this to fade. And
Ih, nice banget ini Cosmic Divide-nya miring begitu.
going to be enough, but they would have to go peeking him. They would have to make mistakes. In fact, Tom, look at what they're up against. They've smoked themselves off?
Yeah, smoked it off just to go for the spam, but it might get to the point where they almost have to run through it. The nade actually jumped into by Surf, but they still have themselves a grab wall. They know that there's nobody on this spike, and the time already being bought relatively low. There needs to be a kill or two, and look at the wraparound. They are buying time for this rotation to come through. It should be free, but actually, he's managed to find the kill with the nade. I don't know if there's enough time. I think it's going to be heartbreaking for Zipan. A nice attempt, but it's not quite there. Absolutely ridiculous that he even made that one.
Gue kayak nggak ngerti gitu loh Ronde.
No, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Jadi caster maintenance suaranya gimana kak? Susah sih. Aku aja masih bingung. Yanto senyum Yanto. Senyum Yanto.
I cannot believe that.
Iya weh, dia kenapa nge-spray sih? Dia nggak nge-spray menang cok. Dia nge-spray anjir.
Goes back in the other direction, pulls a Michael Jackson on you, and almost cost them the round. Between Zipan and Artis, and you know, then you've got Angel right there in the middle.
Kenapa dia nge-spray ya?
XERXIA are doing well to pull these off. I love the fact that they smoke off long, stop the operator from getting them, have the grab wall back pocket. So that was my concern was, what if he does just stick it? You're gambling that, but no, they have the grab well, and by the time that's come through, smoke's gone.
They could have got it to half in that time. They could have actually.
Kenapa dia nge-spray weh?
Kill all 4 players in that like the likelihood of that is slim to none. I think it is enough.
Kenapa nge-spray weh?
Both of these rounds that we've won, it's come down to a 1v1 and
XERXIA, let's go. XERXIA. Yanto mendukungmu XERXIA.
Silver lining here on the other side is that okay.
Teo lagi dong kak. Teo siapa? Kamu mau di Teo?
And that's the one thing I've been a bit disappointed with them throughout the series.
Kamu aku Teo Rifki.
Don't seem to want to play any retakes. And I don't know if that's just because they feel the
Jadi keseleo kali makanya spray gak dapat juga kayaknya iya deh.
In that scenario they were like
ente dah, nice try. Tapi kan kalau dia nggak nge-spray kesannya nggak bodoh. Karena dia nge-spray jadi bodoh gitu loh.
Oh, unlucky Zipan. Oh, very unlucky Zipan. He wishes he didn't use that second blast pack now, I bet, and they heard it. So they're ready for him to be close. In goes the Trailblazer. Now he's in trouble. Rolling Thunder gonna try and
Kenapa videonya hilang semua? Nggak apa-apa, aku hide semua. Hati-hati di TO, enaknya di TO Kamu mau di TO deh nih.
That is an absolute disaster of an a-hole.
TO. Yang minta di TO, aku TO. Kak TO ku kak, cuma bentar aja jangan lama-lama. Iya TO. Ngejebet gaci setselnya iya. TO nih semua aku TO anjir. Kalian nih minta TO, fetis kalian di TO ya.
I almost wonder if it would have just been worth the remaining 2 players on FPX trying to save. Like they are just fighting up.
Kenapa sih kalian demennya di TO anjir? Aku jangan kan no, nggak mau di TO soalnya nggak bisa cek. TO aku kak, oke Zilkia, aku TO kamu. Aku mau cek sama Kabel. Di TO berapa lama kak? 300 detik. 5 menit nggak bisa ngechat. Aku nggak mau. Siapa mau di TO? XERXIA. Kak, aku mau di TO lagi. Oke, Rifki, aku TO, kamu Rifki. Oke, Rifki, kamu udah kena TO. Cita-citaku tidak di TO streamer cantik, Kak. Oke. Aku maunya disayang, Kak. Sembarangan kamu Sojiro, aku TO ya. TO terus TO. Siapa mau di TO?
By that fade season combination with the nade, but they've already managed to get an opener, a second foul from side. Bear in mind he still has a rifle in hand. And Angel desperately wants.
Hello.
Zipan's gonna get the trade.
He's almost died himself because the Seeker was chasing him and it hit the showstopper.
TO aku dong Yanto. Oke, kamu ke TO ya.
I'm still just trying to deal with like Angel's thought process there of like I'll pop
Bocil
flash,
caper
face the
menyerang,
wall
Kak.
so I don't get flashed and just try and grab the gun and then turn around again rather than just facing the blind player.
Siapa yang caper? Aku TO.
Zipan, though, he's actually gonna catch Scary,
Valoranku,
trying to be a little
Kairu,
bit cheeky.
Minanum,
It's left
AP.
all to Cruz.
Tapi thank you 10.000-nya, tapi gue nggak ngerti lu ngetik AP.
There are 3 players.
Nggak paham.
Yeah, it's about what they've got. Zipan with a nade in the back pocket. If they spot him,
Yanto bisa dibeli di mana, Kak? Nggak tahu. Ini punya adek aku. Jadi cerita boneka ini gini guys. Jadi cerita boneka ini punya adek aku. Adek aku dikasih mantannya. Jadi ini adalah hadiah yang diberikan oleh mantannya adek aku. Jadi ini dibeliin mantannya adekku buat adek aku, tapi karena udah jadi mantan jadi buat aku. Paham nggak? Karena mereka udah putus. Daripada dibuang buat aku gitu. Jangan hati aku lagi, Kak. Iya. Jadi karena jadi mantan jadi buat aku. Ini namanya Yanto nih. Daripada dibuang mending buat aku, lucu. Daripada dibuang. Yanto besar kepalanya, iya Yanto emang besar kepala. Yanto caster besar kepala dan streamer besar kepala namanya Yanto. Apakah adik Anda namanya Bella Hartwater? Oh, jelas bukan. Namanya Hartanger. Lah, nggak ada yang jagain anjir. Hadiah dari mantannya Bella mana? Nggak ada hadiah, nggak pernah dikasih hadiah. Ada sih mousepad di atas dari mantan. Ada mousepad CSGO. Ada mousepad CSGO.
Yeah, from FPX just being caught off by that push through. I think it was the spam.
Ente hadiah.
Killing off. I think it was Cider.
Kan Jamal lucu nggak tahu tadi kata Udil namanya Yanto. Udil yang kasih nama. Udil kasih namanya Yanto. Tips and trick nggak tahu dah. Nanyanya aneh. Kak Bella apa? Ya Bella macam orang miskin ya. Parah banget kamu Deverau. Gak boleh gitu anjir. Ada Bella tuh namanya Bella. Anjir Bella Headhunter bisa ngaji anjir.
You could definitely see the level was down. I mean, it's always going to be. Having a stand-in, having the situation that they have right now. There's so many, I want to say there's so many excuses for this team, but Angel does not use them as excuses. He just goes, that's what it is. We got
siapa di sini ini sama Udik, guys. Yang Tori Live udah cekotin Shopee belum? Dia speak doang guys, serang IG-nya Yanto guys. Yanto bohong, serang IG-nya. Yanto bohong, Yanto serang IG-nya Yanto, dia bohong. Heartwarming. Bella Heartburn lah, asam lambung. Yanto scam anjing.
Would they have lost that round? Would they have played that clutch the same way and so on? And I don't think so. You're definitely seeing the struggles there, but at the same time, as I said, XERXIA have just been unbelievable. The individual performances they're pulling out at times, and some of these clutch moments.
Oh, it's so clever. He expected the stun to come through from previous rounds, dodges it initially, and then obviously.
Ada yang kabarnya CWK apa CWK?
Position to be clear, they are waiting just in case he goes back for more, and considering it's Artis on the other side, I don't really blame them so much for that.
Yanto emang paling jago menipu hati wanita. Iya weh, parah weh Yanto. Parah kamu Yanto. Hidung belang kamu ya Yanto ya, hidung belang kamu ya.
The real trouble with Surf going down, who opens up that space, and sure it'll be the Trailblazer to attempt to
cewek Kak.
Fallback from Artis, hit by the Rolling Thunder, big problem for him now, rolling with that operator flashed up as well. Eventually though it's going to fade, and he's good to strike.
Jago anjir si Artis ini.
Good hold from Xiao, and Artis cleans house to put 6 on the board. A very strong A hold out of them this time around. I mean, they had more than enough players to do it. But I think the second Surf goes down, you see the trouble for XERXIA in getting that control and pushing into that space if they're not finding the immediate
Well,
trades.
I think the other thing as well is I don't know how many
Ini kan
people
dikuasiri sama Yanto, loh
kills, which isn't helpful when you're looking for assists.
Yanto di Teos selamanya si Ci, jangan dong, kesian. Sangat bet dia weh. Biduan. Yanto biduan.
And also they're vulnerable. So I think that was just a really good counter, almost waiting for that rolling thunder to come through and then just going, okay, if you want to push us, you have to do it vulnerable.
Same attempt on that long nade.
I think they do it every round.
There's certainly been a lot of rounds that it went down. Even I think the second or third was when we first saw that debut with that third-person angle.
Biduan.
Well, not finding anything this time with XERXIA on the other side of the map, but there's plenty of presence here. Artist with the op is the least of it. They've got Cider alongside Angel. That's a lot of flash initiation capability inside a garage, and they're going to have to retake B by the looks of it. Angel. That was a flash. I thought it was his knife he was chucking in.
Oh, just waiting till the last second. TP back out of there.
Pas
It's
Ci,
aggressive.
ngap, item ngap.
Stepped up over
Oh, item ya? Oh, sorry.
Scary, but needs so much more.
Kalau Altep item ya, sorry weh, nggak tahu.
7-5 for FPX.
Aku bukan streamer, jadi nggak tahu. Sorry guys.
Streaks of rounds going either way, but I think FPX probably going to be relatively happy with that.
Sorry.
I think you have to be. Even that last round, it was a good adaptation. I think they were very much expecting XERXIA to
Aku
go
nggak
for
dua.
aggression. You know, it's rare
Nggak
teams
dua
will
monitor
beat by
soalnya.
itself from window or something. You got to take A or C side, and so they were ready for that dash play through. Avoided Surf getting some massive value. Overall, I think a very good half. But Tom, half two. I don't think Surf's going to be the same guy. I think this guy's about to get revitalized. Let's see if our analyst desk agrees.
Famous last words there, Mitch, and I hope you are right as well. It's another 7-5.
Kirain rumahku yang mati lampu.
This series has gone 7-5, but this time, Jess, it's landed towards the side of
Sorry.
FPX.
Aku nggak tahu soalnya kalau Altep gitu item.
We were going on this map. I sort of guessed that what I'd seen from XERXIA so far wasn't good enough to be able to go up to what we've seen FPX recently deliver on this map. However, I will say there is many players on XERXIA stepping up who didn't in their previous match on Haven. So that's a good sign, at least for the second half. But for now, there's one particular man that we really have got to give highlight to that we haven't yet, probably because he's been hyper consistent so far and he's the top rated player in this entire series so far as well. It's your man Artist, and I think he deserves a bit of a shout at the very least because the kind of space that he's taken, the power position, the power angles more so, and those opening engagements in this half so far, it's been pretty damn good.
Yeah, he also had a massive play.
Has been pretty damn good. Power angle, power shot,
which they shouldn't
power angle, power shot.
They shouldn't have, considering what Angel was able to do, and Artist pulled them back from the breach and was able to recover that round.
Nobar nonton Dapa yang ngomongnya bisa kirim mana weh?
But then from there, XERXIA won the vast majority of the gun rounds. Or maybe not vast majority when you consider the final.
Yang mana? Coba lihat.
They won 4 out of 7 of the gun rounds in this half. There just weren't that many of them because of the mess that FPX had made of the economy. And when you look at what they were doing, it was still fairly good. They were comboing their utility together. They put
Yang mana? Di Udil ya? Mana? Oh, lagi kerja dia. Apa nih?
Pepex. Itunya kuat loh. Bonusnya.
Mana? Oh, lagi live.
Icebox fracture sih enggak sih.
FTT sound scary. Kenapa nih orang nih?
Antara dua duelis atau dua initiator tuh aku kayak bridge atau kayak udah lu duelis sama gua udah.
Iya. Udah kita
nih. Kok ini lu nggak red gua, Bert? Kok lu nggak red gua di sini? Kok lu nggak red gua sebagai player juga? Kok gua nggak dimasukin dalam hitungan sih? Kursornya lu cuma bilang iya ini kursor Among Us. Halo Merik. Bert, lu jago kok Bel. Lu nggak red gua anjir, parah banget. Gua dilupakan cow, nggak masuk rating anjing. Cewa sih gua, nggak masuk rating gua guys. Cewa sih, sakit hati gua. Nih.
Ulti dah. Bridge-nya udah cabut.
Tuh udah gua ulti kan? Udah gua ulti. Musuhnya pasti ke CT dong.
Fight-nya bisa jadi nih.
Nih.
Beli waktu selama
Nih.
kalau bisa.
Nih.
Oh, sen gue reset biar aja. Oh, sen gue.
Oh, gue belum nonton. Mati gue nih kalau Bella ngambek. Kagak, nggak ngambek.
Gue reset biar
Bisa.
Oh, si Pais juga. Bukannya cabut. Dia mainnya di sini, Cok nih. Plan for MN loh. Mainnya di sini. Repos kayak anjir. Albert mah bohong anjir, masa bilang nomor 1. Parah weh ini weh, anjir temen kita.
oh, sen gue reset biar aja biar gue sendiri reset.
Tuh. Parah anjir, stres.
A little bit shaky. Cruz actually doesn't take much damage at all and is going to go back for more again. I think they've realized that there's actually space here.
Saya sih tidak. Percaya nggak adik-adik saya sih. Begini nih, mau 2 nih. Saya sih nggak percaya. Saya juga enggak. Kaki Mana Rusman lagi Ci? Boleh. Ntar mana Rusman. Abis XERXIA kan kru lawan Guild kayaknya. Lupa.
That's what we needed to see. Was missing in the first half after finding that pistol and then falling flat to a 4-1 deficit. Much better face from them starting this one out. And Tom, like we said, like the analyst desk was saying, XERXIA in making these reverse sweeps happen in BO3 series, when they go to the third, they've been good, but they're always in the lead coming in that second half here on
I think the more, I was going to ask, like, how much money are they realistically going to invest into this run? Because they lost so many players.
Dapat. Lebih pengen nonton Dava live anjir dibanding nonton ini. Kita roast Dava anjir. Kalau lagi timeout ya, kita ngintip Dava ya guys, lagi timeout. Lagi timeout kita ngintip Dava. Penasaran dia mainnya gimana?
Smoke down as well. It looks like they're certainly expecting some facet of a long aggression out of XERXIA, some sort of ranged fight that they want to avoid with that smoke. Maybe they did cast a quick eye at that scoreboard and realize there's a good chance.
Paris sudah pasti champions belum? Udah. Udah pasti.
Firing off for absolutely no reason. The surprise factor, at least in their mind, is still there.
They've already taken full C long control. The problem is, with the execution already coming through, this flank is not going to be there quick enough. The rest
Halo,
of the
Jibu.
need to try and delay as much as possible, and they haven't really been able to. Foxy, he runs out of bullets. How does he hit that shot? So quick on the operator, but the trades have come through. This is less of a bonus round as well. Bear that in mind. This needs to be a victory for XERXIA Sushi Boys. His opponent is so low. If he checks this corner, it should be a free kill. He doesn't check it properly though. A mistake that might just cost them. It's Scary left with an SMG and 3 players to find.
Gue masih percaya sih kalau Scary.
So there is somewhat of an opportunity, but this is a Hail Mary. Got to get Xiao on the swing right away. He does good. Fight on the sider. And he did the
Anti
damage.
banget.
That had to be an artist on the other side. It would have been the kill. And a 1v1
Besok
out.
live nggak, Bel?
It shows the right angles to peek.
Besok live.
FPX picking up that round.
Besok live dong.
Yes, they did. Artist picked it up right at the end. That man, he could smell that operator from a mile away. Like, he was more than ready to go and retrieve it.
There you go. XERXIA are 8-2 when facing 3 or more maps. So obviously going into BO5s as well in that territory, but 8-2, a solid record.
Yeah.
FPX closing out half of their games.
Especially, you think probably a lot of their best of 5s are actually versus like
Cek mager formalitas itu namanya. Hah, cek mager formalitas maksudnya? Duh, si Bella nggak hari apa? Rabu. Rabu nggak cash lagi. Sekarang orang crosshair-nya si Yei semua ya. Crosshair-nya Yei semua. Teo aku kak, aku mau tidur. Oke Rifki, good night, good night. Nah, kamu udah aku Teo Rifki. Wah, di TO kok masih bisa ngechat? Udah di TO. Hai Julian. Ayo, siapa yang mau di TO?
Go right in the middle ground, and in this case it is the right call. It avoids the stack either way. Oh no, the timing is terrible. Zipban pulling out the nade at a great time, lobbing it down below, ready to kill.
Mau Denny. Mau EO lagi.
This needs to be denied, and finally someone from FBX stops this from happening. It's the nade from Zipban again, and well, although they don't get any kills, I was still a little bit scary. Prime Gaming flawless once again from FPX, and well, the economy built off the back of that round.
You know what? Yeah. Great nades all around by Zipban. Yeah. Yep. Two kills with nade, and that couldn't criticize it if I tried.
Are we adding that as 3?
No. That was absolutely perfect.
You questioning his nade and then him getting 2 kills with it?
No, that doesn't.
It would be awful if
the stat was rounds. The stat was rounds.
Mulai mabok nih sih ya, sabar. Itu Iko round, ini baru ronde sesungguhnya. XERXIA kalah di sini kalah menurut gua. Karena 10-7 abis itu 11-7 udah susah. XERXIA harus menang round ini. XERXIA menang round ini masih ongoing. XERXIA kalah round ini kemungkinan besar FPX yang menang. Nice. Nice.
The use of the haunt gave that extra information, and actually Cider, I feel like he's starting to come into his own on this attack side. Plant will be coming through, and Artist has been very patient, just waiting around the edge of this smoke for anybody to attempt to push. They're not got any utility to actually force him off, and the kill initially is free, but he'll be caught by Scary. A quick trade back, leaving this in to a 2v3, but Surf desperately low on HP.
Oh, pakai Nightfall.
They'll actually go back up a little bit though.
Yeah, this has got to be Cider. He's already done so much in this round, but his position now as he groups up with Xiao. Smoke down, they'll try to play through.
Oh, no! Anjir, gua kira Scary yang bunuh Kegocek gua anjir.
Look for these frags. He's in for it. It's not hitting him.
Anjir, gua kegocek, coy. Apaan sih? Gua kira Scary yang bunuh anjir.
I was ready for him to be shot in the side of the head any moment, but that didn't come through either.
Feel like he
oh, come on. Players. Oh, look. Cursed players. There we go. All right, okay.
Kegocek gua, cok. Gua kira si Scary yang bunuh anjir. Kalian juga gak sih? Aku punya cita-cita punya di TO Bella. Ya udah, aku TO kamu. Iya kan? Kan kegocek gak sih? Gue kegocek anjir. Gue kira Scary yang bunuh anjir. Kegocek gue cok. Kegocek gue anjir, gak jelas POV-nya. Aduh. Gue pikir Scary yang bunuh, sampai kaget gue tadi. Ternyata bukan guys. Aku juga mau di TO Mbak Bella. Oke, Uta, aku TO kamu. Nah. Swingnya Scary pas banget. So iya weh anjir. Kena gocek gua. Nggak cuma kena gocek sama cowok, kena gocek sama observer juga. Kenapa sih? Aduh. Tidak. Aku nggak mau di TO bela. Kenapa banyak yang mau di TO? Nggak tahu anjir. Fetisnya di TO anjir.
And this is a guy that we talked about, said earlier on the desk, and God, it's been said for so long since the Zip and Go kill days. This guy, one of the best in the world.
But that's the thing. There were two people I were really excited to see going into this event. One of them was Zipan, the other one was Leo. Leo had a god performance in the matches yesterday, and Zipan, right when they need it most, is stepping up to the table. There needs to be someone on the other side, and there has been.
Kok gocek cowok sokap tuh ada deh.
Still putting up numbers. I feel like Sushi Boys is the one that I now need to see if they're gonna do well.
They heard the push on short. They think there's a players, maybe 3 coming up on A. They want to
Pakabor.
they don't know.
Wanjir! Scary! 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 Aduh, ente scary. Nice banget weh. Anjir, pinter banget anjir. Wah, gila weh. Scary! Gila anjir. Wah. Gila weh. Sabar Enzi. Aku lagi ini. Abis match ini Enzi, sabar ya. Abis map ini. Tapi kalau ada satu, main aja nggak apa-apa. Gak usah nungguin gua, nggak apa-apa kok. Scary gila weh. Scary MVP anjing. Scary gila cok. Gila weh. Scary jago banget. Gila weh. Anjir pinter banget cok.
Steps are heard pushing. You know there's going to be one long. There were at least 2 short.
They boombot as well, and the boombot would have cleared every angle other than that tiny bit of smoke.
Anjir,
so who in their right mind? 3 players on A.
Itu kalau aku yang nge-cast aku pasti bilang Scary! Scary! Pasti gue cuma teriak itu doang weh. Scary! Aduh sayang banget dia harus reload. Tapi pemain-pemain lain dari arah backside bisa mendapatkan pemain-pemain dari FPX. Pasti gue nge-cast kayak gitu. Hype. Ya kan? Bener gak guys? Ya weh, gila weh. Gue capek weh kok gue teriak-teriak ya. Udah jam segini gue teriak-teriak anjir. Kamu lebih jago dari Scary kok ah. Halu kamu.
You see Foxy jump back through, like it's so perfect with the timing that the communication had to be absolutely spot on. Otherwise, someone jumps out the window and gets the face.
Well, left
Mau pipis lagi.
One of the best IGLs, one of the most experienced IGLs of
Dapat
all
semua
time
dia.
in any FPS title.
Coba mantap dapat semua sih.
Who is an IGL in his own right,
Soib
but
udah.
experienced in Valorant, and they just looked completely lost. It was chaos. It was chaos. They're just getting shot from every angle. Let's see if that happens again. Good hold by Surf. What?
He got hit by a prowler.
Never.
It pushed him back, he sprays it down and then continues to wipe out the entirety of FPX. Moments ago, this was looking like FPX was slowly dragging their way through to the finish line. And now we sit 10-10, a Prime Gaming flawless once again. And
LLG, lagi-lagi garage!
He only had 5 kills in the first half.
LLG, lagi-lagi garage!
Touched up after this one, he's gonna have a fear of garage. That's
Woo!
unbelievable. Twice in a row now running in there.
LFG, LFG, XERXIA LFG, XERXIA LFG.
Didn't even get to the point
Woo!
could have been. They're like, don't forget to check the.
Check the corner. Oh, he was in front of us this time. Check in front next time. That's insane. What? Well done, sir.
XERXIA, let's fucking go.
Tour de force.
Ayo mereka iko
Ultimates have been completely nullified. Bear in mind.
Ini gila sih ini, bayangin ya. Ronde ini XERXIA menang tanpa ultimate. Terus next round-nya pakai ultimate. Wah, itu udah menang versi paling bagus anjir. Aduh, Foxy. Foxy. Nggak gitu dong.
Anything that can be retrieved. Nice shot from Ardis. Oh, is he gonna check? I don't think he's gonna check. He doesn't expect him in the corner. Not what they needed in this moment.
Nice.
Not a pretty one. Not a pretty one at all. Still,
udah gue jadi deg-degan ya.
He's gone outside of his TP for just a moment.
Ardis ngeri, Cok.
You can see how slowly XERXIA are moving around this one, knowing that that op's on the other side.
Well, that's the thing. He's managed to put his trap into B, so he knows that no one could have really got aggressive around any of the angles other than the choke points or the back of sight. So they've managed to get a lot of space for free because of this. They've also got a passive hold into mid as well.
Ada ulti terus.
There's been no aggression from behind.
Sama ulti Sushi Boy, makanya B-nya dilepas.
Nobody really being able to contest because they split themselves thin.
Look at the spike. Heads is right on top of the trap. It's a little, could have been a little bit to the right, maybe, but, you know, we'll forgive you for that one, Xiao. It's a hard placement. He's got himself into this corner now. Here comes Cruz. Does he pop a flash?
So much.
Does he swing? It's the fact that Artis is holding it first, right? The shot's going to come through, but... Oh, hold on.
Aduh! Aduh! Cruz!
It looked like he wanted to go all the way. And he might now. He might try to tuck into A.
Like, he's got to be careful, otherwise he's going to be stuck. And I don't know if he managed to get detained. It didn't matter in the end, he did. But Sidus actually killed him off instead. And
if Sushi Boys killed him there, he won the round.
Yep, basically. Because Ardis is slow meant he was stuck.
That is so... That would have been something to
The thing
watch.
is, though, with the other two players within the site and them knowing that, I don't know why you would have expected Sidus to be playing in the window on his own. Like, you kind of expect him to be in that hold with them because it's just a little bit odd anybody actually having that utility being there. So 11 to 10, FPX take the lead back. You do have yourself the Rolling Thunder operator still available, and money not really an issue for XERXIA at this point.
Wait, did I see someone? Xiao's playing on light shields. Xiao, what are you doing?
Umar
He's only
Chan.
up against Vandals and an op. So, I mean, as long as Surf doesn't pull out the shorty and headshot him, we're all good. If that ends up happening, I will concede it's a curse. I'll give
Gak tau
you
dah,
that.
kok bingung banget weh.
That's what we're waiting for.
Kan jelas-jelas OP ya, aduh.
From Surf. Oh, I might die to the op from it. That's a nice little spot for him down below, swinging out, and he's not got the kill. That's a leg shot to Zipan.
Oh, and the swing around.
Cruz yang
It's
bener
given
aja,
Angel an opportunity,
anjing.
shorty out, but it's not the right man in position, and he's so desperately low. Not going to be this time, at least.
Duh, gue lemes banget nontonnya, anjir.
Damaged up.
Anjir, one
Really
wish.
wanting to take the risk in this scenario. They don't have any ults to get them back in this time. No lockdown
Gue
available
lemes banget,
utility.
anjir.
At a minimum, they've got to be careful where they place it. They've got
Duh,
to
gue bener-bener
read
lemes
the
banget cuy ngeliat
positions
Cruz, sumpah.
where their opponents are going to be.
Lemes banget gue ngeliat dia, anjir.
Make a gap through. They actually have. They bypassed
Sushi
one,
Boy,
but Zipan
yang
lands
bener
the
aja
shot
lah.
anyway. Left all onto Scary. 1 versus 3, and he's got to try and get into this corner. Zipan is landing every single shot. And FPX now have map and series point. A place in that upper bracket match versus DRX awaits unless XERXIA has anything left in the tank.
I was wondering, I wanted to see what XERXIA had economically, because I couldn't quite recall how healthy it was, but it looks like they're not going to have an issue in buying up. Just because that 1v3 was like, it was tangibly lost, and to still go for it means you must have money in the back pocket, and indeed they do. The only thing here is Surf on light shields, but
Aduh,
again,
capek lah. Ayolah, XERXIA. Kalian bisa weh. Ayo, disiplin dikit. XERXIA bisa weh.
They push to start with again. XERXIA with 3 players there. This time there's no one tucked in sneaky in garage, but I'm sure FPX won't be checking that.
Bisa weh.
Probably steer clear of that position.
XERXIA, disiplin dikit aja.
Nightfall instead. So Xiao's going to be retrieving that rather than
Udah tinggal aja A-nya. A-nya tinggal aja sama Surf, bisa dia. Gak perlu dijagain.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Maybe Zipan's going to get a kill anyway, and then it doesn't really matter. Surf's aggressive position, though, it's going to be checked for. They always seem to be very aware.
Aduh, ini bisa di flash nih.
Now might even be holding for it, but he hasn't left. He's still just stuck around. He has been spotted, but again, they're a little bit wary. They're throwing.
Oh, nice banget, Surf.
everything at him just
Nice.
to try
Nice
and
banget.
force him back.
Yang penting lu hidup,
That is
Cok.
incredible that Surf didn't even use his dash there.
Yeah,
he was
nice.
so confident in being able to get out
Nice,
that
nice.
he just ran.
Nice banget,
like,
Surf.
shoots the Lear up top, and then he's just getting out. I don't know how, or the Han, sorry, not the Lear. But he shoots it up top, puts down his Cloud Burst, and doesn't dash. Fair play, he's got that online now.
Here we
Could
go.
potentially help them on the fight here on B.
Do they have the horn? It doesn't seem like they do.
Nice banget.
Last time that he goes up here is that there's a horn. Instead, jumping in.
Turn around,
yes,
Cider! Turn around!
They are back to back within the site. They have absolutely no idea, but it doesn't seem to matter. Cider's gonna get away with it. A massive misplay. They didn't have the sound because of the Nightfall going through, and that actually grants him 3 kills. Even still, a 2v2, timer ticking. They have to go into this B site at this point, and even just denying the plant could be enough, but there is no one there to be able to do it.
Artis has TP, but if he goes now, Killjoy's watching it, stood right outside. He cannot use that. I think he should know that. Suspected, perhaps. Angel detecting one to the right side. He knows there's a flank.
See, boys, nice.
And now he's been cut off. Artis has to do it all. He's sneaking around. They have no idea where he could be. Oh, now they do. They seem to have a great idea. Oh, no. The right side open and Artis flicks. That is incredible. The timing couldn't have been better. They'll win this in 2-1 fashion. It wasn't quick. It wasn't clean. But FPX, they found success here in their LAN debut.
And it's going to be FPX facing off against DRX for the spot to make it out of the groups. They've been wounded, as was said, but they are here to fight, here to play, and unfortunately for XERXIA, that is going to send them down into that lower bracket match. Still, though, putting up performances, Surf still showing that he is a player to fear, and this was genuinely impressive. They utilized the fact that they had themselves that Nightfall to just deafen everyone as he TP'd into the back of the site, and the fact that they were back-to-back just moments later, and even still, XERXIA fought back, and it took a Red Bull clutch from Artis to actually close out the game. Incredible stuff from him.
I can't believe that. That whole time that you're just seeing him, Cider stood on the back side.
Aduh, masalahnya ya, XERXIA itu harusnya bisa menang 2-0 anjir. Mereka harusnya udah menang di bind. Mereka malah bisa menang 3-0. Mereka bisa banget menang 3-0 loh. Itu 3 map tuh kalau disiplin dikit aja. Disiplin lebih dikit aja. Menang XERXIA anjir. Disiplin lebih dikit aja deh. Aduh. Ini tuh 3-3 mapnya bisa banget dimenangin XERXIA coy. Map 1 deh. Map 1 tuh udah XERXIA banget. Dia disiplin dikit aja. Menang cok. Aduh. Anjir.
Their attempt to finally play on land. He did not do that. Yeah. And in fact, at the end, he was one of the reasons they were able to close this map in the first place. XERXIA were definitely building back in, so hopefully that might be some of the jitters out of the way, because he has had some...
Aduh, dikit lagi weh.
And that's exactly it. I think the best example there is the fact that, sure, we say Cider first half 3 kills, yada yada. Surf, I think he had 5. Yeah, and the turnaround from him as well. So things can change. It's all about your role and how you're playing. But the thing is, for Cider, the pressure that he's under first half, you come out of that, it's got to really hurt you mentally.
You got 6 first bloods for Surf. And then
Anjir. Aku di-rate lagi sama Hongkong. Halo, tapi aku udah mau end stream weh. Thank you The Bangkong sudah nge-rate. Thank you The Bangkongs. Nasi sudah menjadi spaghetti. Parah weh. Ini harusnya bisa 2-0 weh. Harusnya bisa 2-0. Pindahan Bang The Bangskui. Halo, thank you The Bangkongs. Udah rate lagi tapi aku udah mau off stream. Thank you, the Bangkongs. Harusnya 2-0.
Most definitely. Well, if you agree with Tom, go and get your vote in. If you don't, go and get your vote in anyways. You should do it no matter what. We're going to toss things over to the analyst desk after this break, and they'll let you know who your player of the match is. See you soon.
Aduh. Harusnya 2-0. Harusnya 2-0, bro. Ngapain Bang Dik kok jadi set? Gas lower lah. Semoga bisa deh di lower. Lawan Norteptian bisa sih harusnya. Lawan tim Jepang. Bisa lah di lower, bisa-bisa. Mau nangis tapi nggak gitu rasanya, nggak tahu deh, nggak bisa dijelasin dengan kata-kata. Aku lemes guys. Aduh, tapi aku off stream dulu deh guys. Aku cuma nonton 1 match doang hari ini. Yang udah datang dari The Bangkongs, thank you ya. Thank you yang udah datang nonton. Thank you juga viewer-viewer setia yang udah nonton. Jangan lupa subscribe, jangan lupa di like. Thank you semua yang udah datang. Bacot anjir, Jakisa baru datang. Kasih moderator dulu. Thank you guys. Dapat jatah headset Sony Zone, nggak maunya sih dapat. Alhamdulillah dikasih headset Sony. Tapi aku off dulu ya guys. Besok live stream lagi. Bye guys, see you tomorrow. Besok live stream lagi, dadah. Bye. Besok live stream lagi ya. Jangan lupa subscribe. Dadah.